Radiant team pick.
Like, I guess Bat Rider is banned, right? Bat's banned, but there's Veno. There is... Well, Viper, I think, is still in the pool. Try to run.
10 seconds remaining.
We like Necrophos, probably
5
not.
seconds remaining.
That is... that doesn't go through BKB anymore. Can't stun Enigma.
No.
I mean, if they want to go support, there is that
Choose
clock.
your hero.
Okay, so it's Void Spirit. So this is likely a support Primal Beast.
Yeah, mid
Or a
Void.
3.
Yeah, Husky is playing. Yeah, so it's 5 Dawn.
Interesting. They
This is what
truly
Clinks
flexed
needs
in the
lane.
end.
Clinks needs a frontline melee 5 that's tanky, ideally, so that somebody is a sponge and you get to hit creeps and you get to use barrage when it's time. Dawn Clinks is a very strong lane, as a matter of fact, and they do a great job at killing Eidolons, which the Vailama is going to have to struggle with. Both heroes can kill Eidolons in the blink of an eye. If you have your Eidolons killed twice as Enigma, you lose the lane. So keep an eye out for that. As far as the Venge Primal lane goes, against Troll, I'm assuming Troll Naga?
10 seconds remaining.
I'm not sure. I feel like that should be fine for Primal Beast, right? Like,
seconds
Naga does
remaining.
nothing to you. You can probably just farm. Then, if you see an opportunity, you could go for it together with Venge. Yeah.
I like both lineups in some respects, Cinderin. I'm not a believer, even though it is Gunner, and he can make almost anything work mid. Void Spirit has looked pretty bad lately. And this is a last pick, Void Spirit. We'll see how the lane goes against the Zeus. I'm sure they'll both be fine, but
Yeah.
we'll see how active he wants to be on the Void Spirit. And again, Gunner's the one that can unlock this here. I feel like of all the spirits, this is like by far the least picked or the least impactful these days. I don't know what's changed in the last 6 months, but like prior to 6 months, I feel like this hero was picked quite a bit more.
I do think he's the best spirit against Zeus, together with Storm, but I don't know if Storm was banned here. Storm could have also been interesting, but the thing Void Spirit does exceptionally well is assassinating one hero in the backline, and that is what Zeus does not like to face. So there's a decent chance that Gunner will just specifically itemize to try to assassinate alone out of the game. And then if Zeus is dead, I think that the fights are going to be pretty straightforward for them, actually. They need the damage from Zeus to kill in Black Hole, because the only real damage they have aside from Zeus is the supports Tusk and Naga do not offer massive teamfight damage to any extent compared to, say, the enemy team where your supports are, you know, a Dawn that has a lot of AoE damage, or a Venge that amplifies and whatever.
You're in game, and you know what that means, Cinder, and it's time for predictions. Player with the highest net worth at game end. Oh, man. Well, it's got to be the position ones for one of the sides. I'm going to go Costa Bile, I guess. I don't know. He has played Clinks in the past, and we've seen him win on it.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. It's that or Troll, probably.
Yeah. Total number of smoke gank kills by 10 minutes. You like the 0 one. Okay. Total number of smoke gank kills by 25 minutes.
3 to 5.
Ooh, 3 to 5.
Because if a smoke gives 2 kills, it's not about number of successful smokes.
Oh,
I see.
30 seconds.
Okay, so 3 to 5, sure. Which team will win? Well, Nouns are favored in general.
I'll take Nouns. I need to see this 5 Naga before I believe it.
Yeah.
I'm not a believer.
That's true. I mean, I'm not a big believer in Void Spirit, but then there is a Naga and Troll.
Pick your poison. Who do you think is worse? Not who do you think is best.
I'll go with Nouns on game 1.
Every hero you hate is in this game.
Well, Troll is a different kind of hatred. I don't believe in it, but I love it, if that makes sense. It's kind of a love-hate relationship. But Naga, yeah, it's nobody likes watching Naga, let's be real.
Right,
but as support, it's more bearable.
Off to a little bit of a head start.
Sammy Boy is going to be playing the Naga this game. Z-Freak on his Vengeful Spirit, and expect him to get an Aghanim Scepter this game. I don't know how fast you rush it, but typically it'll be like the second item. If he's going to play a little greedy.
4 Venge have different options, right? You can get saving utility. You can get the Axe, like you said. You can go for Wraith Pact as an option. Different possible paths you can take. I think in this game, I don't know how good the Ags is. I think your primary goal is just to find the best way possible of dealing with Enigma, right? So maybe even a Force Staff so you can break an Ultimate Lincolns, or so you can get in position to swap when necessary, so you can force people away when they get jumped by Tusk. There's like... Force Staff is actually a very high value item in this game, I think, but Axe Venge is always going to be good. And how much farm he finds.
It's all about how greedy Z-Freak wants to be. He's gone through phases where he's very greedy and then not so much.
Yeah.
Not sure what phase he's currently in.
Mood on the day.
Yeah, pretty much. Obviously, I've talked about this before. One of my favorite players of all time. Hasn't found the team to bring him to high success rate that I would expect for somebody of his caliber, Cinderin. But that is kind of the issue with NA. Sometimes you just get stuck on teams. But luckily for him, Nouns, I feel like, have been very stable the last year. They've improved dramatically, and they definitely have a chance to put up a fight as Husky ends up getting first blood on Alex.
I was not looking there. The Dawn soloed a Tusk with boots. That is very unusual, but gets the level 2 first and just goes for it. I think Tusk was out trying to mess with the pull of Husky, but find success with that. So nice start for the Dawn, you know, closing in on level 3 already from that kill. A lot of experience going his way from a solo kill, and that will allow him to be a much bigger threat in lane to this Enigma and his Eidolons.
Do you know if illusions will stack uproar charges?
They deal enough damage per hit.
So it's just based on that alone. It's not
Only
about
based on damage, yeah. And that means the illusions need to be huge because they need to deal over 50 damage in an instant, right?
Right.
Is what it is. So.
Mu has 4 charges of uproar right now, and that is a real hefty amount. The cool thing about this spell is, I've talked about this before, but 0 mana cost, and there's literally no downside to not using it. So now that's running out, expect him. What?
Expecting?
Literally no reason not to use it. It has no cooldown as well, so
yeah,
a little interesting. But
Got it.
Maybe he doesn't know.
I doubt that, as Gunnar taking heavy damage by Via alone mid lane. Actually gonna get the deny there. Gunnar off to, I mean, they're both pretty even, so pretty much a wash in the mid lane to start things out. And both heroes pretty hard to gank as well. Now that Zeus has the Heavenly Jump, of course.
A bit of an upside for Gunnar, though, is both heroes are out of mana. And I think that is good news for Void Spirit, because the way Zeus can win this lane is through constant pressure. And Void Spirit, if none of them has... if none of them has any resources, I think he will be slightly favored in the CS war, like better attack animation, he has Quelling Blade advantage. It's pretty close, but, you know, a little bit of a potential advantage there for Gunnar. Try to steal this water rune away from Zeus. In time, I think. Oh, that was barely in time.
Got it time to a science, Cinderin and Alex. He's going to prevent the second one from coming out. He's going to try to block,
Alex
but...
to take it. Oh, he's going to kill Alex with Courier.
All right, nice little extra bounty for him there. So Alex, full of fumbles here early on. Sammy boy, I saw a Naga chasing a Vengeful Spirit in the river, and first thought was, position 1 is out here already? Of course, it is a 5 Naga. Anybody just trying to be a nuisance right now, but...
I mean, my first thought when you said position, or any Naga chasing Venge was, what is she chasing her with?
She doesn't have Ensnare quite yet.
Doesn't have Ensnare, and Venge has higher move speed, so... I mean, I guess Sam is happy to try to bully Z-Freak away so Troll gets a 1v1 against Primal.
Yeah, we got the Onslaught Trample combo. Sammy boy with that uproar stack now. Mu gets credit for that one. God, I love this hero, Cinderin. It's so fun to watch. As Alex will die. Yeah, that is the... Wait. Has he not died 3 times? Am I crazy? Oh no, that was his courier. I counted the courier as his own death, which is understandable at this point. Yeah, 3-0 start for Nouns.
The thing about Sam's stuff there is that he did place a sentry, so they find the obs, and that is a pretty good consolation for losing your 5 Naga. The Ox was killed by Eve.
Oh, we got a dust on Costa Bile. He was stuck inside the shard. Snowball coming in. That's a nice kill for Alex. The TP support from Z-Freak is here to at least get the trade, but Wildcard will take that. That leaves Moo all alone in the top lane, but that means full stacks of uproar. Very exciting.
Yeah, what do you think about his skill build?
Very interesting. I'm not sure. I feel like 1-3-1 is the very standard. What's the reason for getting 2 here?
Maybe it feels like he's going to get so much value out of it against Troll, right? Troll's going to attack you a lot with Fervor, and getting the extra benefit. Like, it's 5 more armor. I think he's going to keep it on 2, probably. Yeah, he's going to go 1-2-2, so... Okay. The second point is very nice for laning, for trading there. I don't mind it. Okay.
Even
that works out for him, and I would guess. I mean, the problem is that level 3 is like a big power spike on the trample. That's when you can get a lot of kills. Mostly it's used for harass and killing creeps, but once you get to 3, it feels like that is the point where you can actually get kills reliably.
Part of patrol, though.
Yeah, we are. There's no vengeful, or there's no vengeance aura quite yet, so you're not getting that extra damage. But you do have Wave of Terror, the extra physical armor reduction. Trample will be. Trample's magical. I keep forgetting that. It's so weird.
Yeah, there's no
really
really
attack damage.
obvious synergy between them except vengeance aura. I mean, the stun, obviously, right? Primal loves playing with a low cooldown stun, so you can just always be ready to go. But yeah, onto the Troll, that's not really happening. He's way too tanky. He has 16 armor under his tower with phase boots and Patrick Rage, so we'll just farm.
Gunner level 7 right now, alone is pretty much the exact same XP, and their net worths are relatively similar. Gunner slightly ahead as he transitions to the top lane, but you can see Eve already seeing this. He's got his phase boots and Void Stone first to be able to spam out the whirling axes as he moves to the jungle.
I wonder the math on Troll, if this is actually better damage or better GPM than a broadsword. It probably is.
And his mana regen, he has low int, right? So isn't that make mana or Void Stone worse?
Structures are fortified.
Void Stone is just flat mana regen, right? So it's about how much do your spells cost relative to their cooldown. So the Void Stone is actually very good on this hero because his spells are cheap. So he's going to be able to... Yeah, this has to be way more cost efficient than a Claymore or a Broadsword, actually.
I haven't seen that before. One tower getting pressured, though. Already at half HP. Gunner's still here, by the way. Looks like they want to get him the Astral Step on the Sammy boy. He is super dead. Oh. Wait. He's actually staying alive. The Thunder God's Wrath came in as well. Snowball onto Gunner with the tag team as well. He's going to use the last Astral Step, but not going to quite get blocked by the shards. Will he get out in time? So a nice snowball save there for Wildcard. Alone wants to pursue. Gunner able to stay alive, thanks.
That was a perfect mirror image cast from Sam. He dodged Onslaught in that transformation time. Nicely done. That spell was changed, right? Yeah, so the cast point is shorter and the split time is longer, which means you have more time to disjoint and it's easier to cast it in advance of something because you have there's less build-up time.
Radiant's
So
top tower
if you're anticipating something, it's pretty damn reliable, and he made a very good use of it there.
Gunner, he
Radiant's
spotted.
middle tower
He's back
is under
to the
attack.
top lane, so the XP for Husky for the time being. He does have Solar Guardian available if they want to try to get a jump going, but a little bit hard to pursue, especially with Z-Freak not being level 6 quite yet. Costa Bile has his Javelin, so going for the standard Maelstrom start. And Moo, he's been kind of roaming a bit. Bracer phase boots. As Alex is going to get caught off guard here and bursted down by Gunner.
And now Sam's in trouble too.
He did get a courier,
Radiant's
but
bottom tower is under attack.
more than likely. Husky with a misclick.
I think he wants to give the kill to Costa Bile, honestly,
Radiant's
but
bottom tower
Well, if
has
you want to
fallen.
give the kill to Costa Bile, you could choose not to use Starbreaker in the direct opposite direction. It wasn't really... I think think
maybe he
the
clicked
minimap
it.
by
Oh
mistake.
yeah, that's probably what happened.
That's pretty funny.
That's when you open your options and change that threshold to be a longer delay, clicking the minimap.
That is when you do it. When it happens in the TI qualies.
Yes, that's
Never
the
had a
point.
problem ever before.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Zfreak has the Tome of Knowledge. We'll be getting level 6 here pretty soon. I'm not sure if that's actually enough.
It is.
Should be now.
He's
Just
not,
holding on to it.
he didn't notice that he caught it, I guess.
Waiting, you know, just in case he dies, he's gonna be worth less to the team.
It's actually 5 hit, but I don't think that's what's happening.
Dire's top
Gunner
tower is under
Push
attack.
this tower. They obviously have this siege creep now, so he's gonna have to tank a bit thanks to the resonant pulse. Sammy Boy trying to delay, but this is actually not gonna tank it anymore, so the siege creep will die. But I think this tower will die as well. But meanwhile, bottom lane, we see Divide Llama is left all alone, doing
Rushing
fine and dandy.
Octarine.
Oh my god.
He
What?
got first item Evelyn's, and he's
Wow.
going straight Octarine by the looks of it.
Wow. That is something
Dire's
else.
top tower
Yeah.
has fallen.
Not going Pack, not going Midas, not going Blink BKB, just
I'm
straight
okay
Octarine into BKB.
with the no pack. I feel like that has been
Yeah,
very underwhelming lately.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
People just copy pasting each other's builds. Yeah, this one is weird. I figured it would be a faster BKB, Blink, and Lincolns, so you can just pretty much ensure that nobody can cancel Black Hole, but opting for CDR. So we'll see.
He is gonna get caught by an Invis Beast here, though.
Yeah, Pulverize available. Waiting for Clinks to come out. Even a Solar Guardian expended.
Radiant's middle
And
tower is under
the last
attack.
click there from the Burning Barrage, but Moo technically gets credit for that one. He's going to be rushing the BKB again. So far, kind of sadly, this is the complete standard build. Just get super tanky. Although I guess Soul Ring used to be a thing, but oh, he has Soul Ring as well. Soul Ring and double bracer. My God, really
Mars build, just missing a bracer.
swap on the Sammy Boy in the top lane, and we got the Onslaught Trample to finish him off. All right, so far the Naga has not looked particularly good as a hero in this game,
Dire are
but
scanning.
obviously is not level 6 yet, so that not going to see the setup. And that's the other thing to keep in mind with support Naga. The song AoE is so much shorter than it used to be. Radius. Alex is going to spot out the delay. Dust is there, punch is there, and alone with the burst
Dire's
damage is
middle tower
enough.
is under attack.
Nice pick off from Wildcard. But this is going to open up the mid lane to get pushed.
Dire's
They're at least
structures
pressured.
are fortified.
Fortification
Dire's middle
is
tower is
activated
under
as
attack.
Eve very close to finishing the battlefield. He absolutely does not want to die right now. This would be real bad.
He's got it.
He has it now if he wants to bring it out. You have to buy the component. Here's we're gonna see the first black hole of the game, and it's gonna be on Gunner, and it's gonna be a
Radiant's
super
middle
easy
tower
one
is under
for
attack.
Wildcard.
That's
Radiant
probably mid tier
structures
1 as
are
well if they don't
fortified.
have big
Sammy
resources
Boy,
already.
he is level 6, and he got his song off. Hang around a little bit longer, turns into a pig, but we'll be able to scurry away.
I like him sticking around there. He's just buying time for Troll to push mid. So
Radiant's middle
locking
tower
those two
has
heroes in
fallen.
place while Eve is getting that tower. Really, really good sequence here from Wildcard. Here with Black Hole and get mid tier 1 minute 14 while also saving their 5 top. So couldn't have gone much better than that.
What is... You're gonna have to do some math here, Cinderin.
Okay.
With Octarine, the cooldown of Black Hole, what does it become? Is it close to what Naga's
150.
ult is? 150 at level what?
At level 1.
At level 1, which
Yeah.
aligns with Song of the Siren, which is 160. You think that has something to do with it? That they want to align these
I
ults
was
together?
thinking about that, but I don't know. Like, I'm still uncertain about what they're aiming for with these two heroes together. Like, we might be overthinking it, and they just really like the Naga
Dire's
for
courier
the reset
has been
potential and to
killed.
contest Roche, and then they're making sure to pick a carry with it that can compensate their weaknesses, like it's dying in the river.
He dies. Again, just position flash.
Radiant
Siege creep
are
is
scanning.
available, so I think it's finally time that this tier 1 tower will fall in favor of Nouns alone. Ooh. The heavenly jump away. Obviously, Swap not the highest range at this rate because he's only level 8 right now.
Has fallen.
I think that level 2 ult is when it really starts to become something you have to worry about. Of course, if you're Enigma, you always have to worry about it regardless of the range. Bye. Will likely be spotted here by Zfrig. Nope, not quite in range. Checking out down here. This is a bigger kill. Solar Guardian is coming, but he's able to create a little bit of space, but it's not going to matter. He's bursted from 100 to 0. No chance.
It's a big one. That's the top net
1500
worth hero. Killed by Nouns, top net worth hero. Closing on BKB on Costabile here, and Gunnar is also 1500 away from Ags. I think this is going to be a really strong timing for the Radiant lineup, where if you find any sort of picks in the top half of the map, you can kill Roche pretty quickly with these heroes, right? You have Plinks plus Venge. Even Primal Beast doesn't do terrible damage to Roche if he has stacks of Uproar and he pops Trample. So, yeah, I do believe that Nouns will make a really impactful play in, let's say, 3 minutes when Gunnar has the Ags. That's when they want to get stuff done. Might also line up with a Primal Beast Ags, or BKB rather.
It's a very even game right now. And we're getting to the territory where Roche can start to be considered, which I would give the... Actually, both teams can do Roche relatively fast. As Alex gets off a snowball. Ice Shard as well. A lot of damage coming out from Alone, but the Starbreaker connects from Husky. It's like Alex, he's going to be able to walk away as Moo trying to focus on Alone. Obviously, the higher priority kill. Attempting to TP out. Almost gets him. And that is a nice one for Nouns. Heavenly Jump is going to delay this a bit. Actually puts down a tree. Can they even get to him? No way he gets out of this. He doesn't have a TP. And he's still in the trees. They cannot find him. Are you serious?
Throw the hammer, Husky. There's only one place you guys didn't check.
Oh my god, no way.
Not that one.
No way, bro. That is absurd.
I mean, the thing is, this is almost as bad as dying, though, right? Like, he has to walk all the way.
No, it's not. Look at
Okay, actually, it's not that bad. I thought he was
say, what are you
No, I
talking
thought he
about?
was going to get stuck again. His last Heavenly Jump looked like he was stuck again, right?
Oh, I
Radiant's
see.
bottom
So
tower
he'll be wasting so much time. I mean, the total time he is out of play is longer than if he had died, right? If he had died, he would be closing in on a respawn now. Now he needs to walk all the way back to base, regen up, and walk all the way back out again.
Yeah,
So
but that's XP and gold. Nouns
that the
will
enemy
not
team
have.
didn't get. It's just, it makes a... The difference between life and death there was not that big. But still, I mean, a cool escape, right? It was... I can't
Why do
believe
you have
they
to
didn't find
downplay everything? That was amazing.
Amazing escape. I'm just saying it was an amazing escape.
Yes,
that didn't
it was an
necessarily have that
amazing
big of an
escape, except it wasn't really that impactful, you see.
impact. Why are those two things related, Shannon? You can make an amazing play that makes no difference.
Yes, you don't need to mention it. Sounds
Absolutely.
worse.
I do not like lying to
Malefus
the
on the
audience.
move.
All right.
He's already used Onslaught, and Snare is there, and he is looking quite dead. Trying to get off a little AoE stun with the Pulverize, but...
Unfortunately, this is a pretty unimpactful death, though. All right, he had a killing spree. That's actually pretty big.
Yeah, of course.
All right.
Wrong
Same
as
with the B word.
always.
He's gonna... I mean, Gunnar is actually in an awkward spot here. If they sent literally anything down here to check, he would be in a lot of... He's going to get scouted now by the illusions. Well done.
Yeah, and he wants to be very careful because he's very close to Ags. But he pops the BKB as well. He had about 5% HP, popped it, and then died immediately. And that was the, I believe, the full charge. Yeah, that was the 9-second one. Wildcard getting some great pickoffs. And with the black hole still up and Song, look for Wildcard to potentially try to force a fight. Divine Llama has his Octarine, by the way, so we'll see how this works. 150-second cooldown on the black hole right now.
And we're focusing a lot on the black hole aspect of it, but keep in mind that this also means demonic conversion has way more uptime. So overall, like map pressure, farm, lane push, the whole shebang, you just get more value out of it. And if you do get a shard eventually as well, lower cooldown on Malefus, all right.
Z-Freak.
He's
fine. He's got haste. The Gunner showing off that newly picked up Aghanim Scepter, so the double charge of Resonant Pulse and Silence, which, again, there's no BKB for the Enigma especially yet, although he's pretty deep into it, so a recipe plus 1,000 away.
You know why he's not buying Wraith Pact on Enigma? Because he's buying it on Naga.
Okay, well, that takes care of that.
There you go. This is why they pick these heroes together. It is the only way they can justify not buying Wraith Pact on Enigma. They need a 5 Naga to do it.
That can't be the only reason.
No,
surely.
Absolutely not.
Surely you can turn this. You can change your mind and change that point booster into an Ag Cinder, and you can see the dream.
That's true. Could definitely change his mind for no reason.
It's funny though, because everybody is buying this item Wraith Pact, and I know that it was really OP when it first came out. It's really hard to tell how impactful it is. You know, it really is difficult.
Yeah, it doesn't pierce BKB, so it has so much to do with which heroes are BKB'd at what time. Like, it's super impactful if the BKBs are not active, because it's just such a big amount of damage mitigation, but yeah, when those are running, it's irrelevant. So depending on what heroes you hit at what time, it's either incredible or meh. Yeah.
Into the pit they go. Wildcard. I'm a little bit surprised they didn't try to fight when all of Noun's spells were down. And the BKB.
Mega risky. I know they have Naga, but if Sam gets caught first, somehow...
Yeah, they're gonna get spotted now. The silence onto Sammy Boy. No Song of the Siren right yet. He has it now, though. Up the ensnaring Costa Belay, so they're gonna have to abandon the Roche capability for now as the jump in from Moo. Going for the Sammy Boy Naga, the BKB pop that's newly picked up by Moo. Solar Guarding keeping alive, but this is against Eve's right clicks, just beating him down, finally finishes him off. Off the whirling axes, onto the high ground they go as a black hole now used to kill off Costa Belay. It is a 4-0 in favor of Wildcard. Z-Freak looks to be the last alive and brought down to his knees. Double kill for Divide and a free Roche for Wildcard. What a fight. They didn't lose anybody.
I love that he was also immediately on troll there. I think a lot of players would not do that, but effectively what he accomplished was that he took Primal Beast out of the fight himself. Primal with the BKB popped. This change to Battle Trance, or to Berserker Rage, allows him to net through BKB, and the Primal Beast just didn't move the whole fight. He just died. So that is about as impactful as it's going to get from a troll ult. Your favorite ability in Dota really paying off there. Very good.
Well, technically it wasn't the ult, it was the ensnare, which is not his ult.
Well, he might not have got the ensnares off without the attack.
Don't know that though.
I'm saying.
Okay, well this puts Wildcard in the driver's seat. 5k lead, Aegis available. Their late game looks really good. I mean, how is Klink's late game, Cinderin? Like, I know this hero ramps up a lot, but does he scale as well as Troll?
Nice.
Oh, that stopped it. Yeah, okay, we'll talk about that after the fight. As Gunner getting focus and Snare is there. Still rooted. Can he get out? No, he drops to the deck and moves. Dies again during the BKB as Eve's Aegis has dissipated. By okay. Nice swap. Song is not going to reach Costa Belay. But obviously it will cost Z-Freak his life, but either way, it's still 3 kills again, going in favor of Wildcard.
I don't know why that snowball stopped the charge. We've established earlier that a lot of stuns don't interfere with the charge. Like, you get stunned, but you complete the onslaught. Unless he clicked stop at the same time, I don't see why that would happen there.
Tower is under attack. Radiant
we'll have to go into the... Actually, we should ask Fogged, because he sits in demo mode and tests out every single mechanic in the game, so he'll know the answer to this. I'll leave him a message.
I think he spends more time in demo mode than playing the game.
Probably. I think Tsunami does the same thing, insane. So both of them are very good at knowing these little weird mechanics. Maybe it's just spell dependent then.
I genuinely have no idea why that works the way that. But yeah, again, I think honestly one of the most impactful things and the biggest problems this game that Nouns have had is that Costa Belay they've just had his number all game. Like, every fight there's something on top of him. He has not got to play Klink's the way this hero wants to, which is wait for the fight to develop, stand behind, and go in for a huge barrage, just hasn't had the opportunity. So credit to WILDCARD for really finding him, especially with the Tusk. A lot of the fights, been doing a great job. Alex knows what his job is. Doesn't have to really play save. He just needs to get in on top of the right heroes at the right time.
Yeah, I like this potential pickup from Husky. I say potential, but he's only 1,200 away. The Aghanim Scepter for the Dawnbreaker, giving that evasion against Troll, very good, and obviously the heal amp, like you said, against the Black Hole as well.
Radiant's
So it's kind of like a little two birds with one stone. Speaking of two birds with one stone, we're not going to see the shard yet on Mu, Cinderin.
Nope.
That's two rock shards, 3 rock shards.
That's one bird with 3
Radiant's
stones
top
if you're
tower
lucky.
has fallen.
One bird with
Radiant
3,
are
sure.
scanning.
I'll just agree. Just to
You
make it
throw
easy.
3 stones,
scanning.
but they don't hit very well, so if you're lucky, you hit
Radiant's
one
top
bird.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sad I had to explain that joke. It was really good, Shannon.
God, you're
Now it's
so
not as
good.
funny. I'm
That's
really smart and funny. All right.
Very
Sam?
very good
Well,
dad
They
joke.
don't have any idea yet. This is well, they do, but they don't know if it's safe to go for it. They will do it though.
Yeah, they get the swap off. Sammy Boy looks to be dead. Again, he's the one that's been dying most consistently, but that's just position
Dire's
5.
bottom tower
No big
has
deal. They
fallen.
get the tier 1. But BKB now online for Devi, who went for Tranquil Boots, by the way. Interesting.
Mirrors of my
Is that normal? I feel like I have not seen that.
I guess he just wants some cheap movement speed because he's playing without any sort of other mobility, right? He hasn't got dagger. He went Octarine BKB and now he's going Lincoln. So does he just not want Link? I know you're against Venge, but there's something to be said about having the dagger regardless to it. Now this is a way to find Venge.
Focusing on the Troll Warlord, he's gonna pop the BKB and his ult. There's the Black Hole onto 2. Mu is dead. Husky is certainly next. And Z-Freak left all alone in the enemy jungle will be the 3rd to die for Nouns. Not over yet. It's Costabile and Gunner still trying to fight off. Alone will live with a sliver of HP. Alex with the punch, and Costabile is dead. 4 for nothing. And again, WILDCARD just getting every single fight going their way. Not even close.
I think Alone
Gunner.
survived because Costabile didn't have searing arrows on auto tap. I'm pretty sure he hit him 3 times without.
It's not over
boy.
yet, Cinderin. Gunner, he's Maleficed.
Radiant's middle tower is under
No
attack.
Walrus Punch this time, but a nice block off. Aether Remnant's going to keep him safe for a little bit. It's off the Astral Step. He's still stunned with the Maleficed, attempting to TP out.
Not happening.
Snowball is there. He gets tipped, and he gets killed. Full team wipe for WILDCARD. They lose nothing. And this is not the way I was expecting this game 1 to go.
No, absolutely not. I think there's credit to WILDCARD for having really good, like, determination, basically. Whenever they see opportunities, they go for them. And perhaps what's causing Nouns some trouble is that the Dire lineup is very difficult to engage into, right? Like, the heroes they have want to go in and start something. You want to go in with Dawn, you want to go in with Primal Beast, but you need to account for Song to counter-initiate and for the Black Hole.
Another Maleficed into a Nimbus. Z-Freak has no chance to even cast a spell. Mu able to get out though. And Alone had the chance to get a Quickening Charm, but is opting to stick with the Vambrace for that 6% spell amp. Wonder
Dire's
does that
middle
have
tower
not
is
enough
under
mana
attack.
to spam?
Radiant's
I feel
top
like the
tower is under
Quickening Charm
attack.
is what you strive for, Zeus.
It is very good on Enigma too, though, right? They are giving it to Devi Lama. You just get, I know it stacks multiplicatively, not additively, but you just, again, lower cooldown Black Hole, more Eidolons, more map pressure. Good on him.
It's a greedy build from
Gonna get the
Devi.
award, by the way. That makes the award very obvious. I don't know if that was worth it from Alex. To be honest, but. Well, what do you think about Costabile going this build? I don't know. I feel like they're really missing the Gleipnir. He's going for the Scotty, and part of the problem in the fights is that he just can't lock down targets and get the job done himself. So I don't know if he should have bought the items in opposite order.
Yeah, it's tough to say. I mean, now that you have BKBs online for several heroes, and a snowball save, maybe the
Radiant's
Gleipnir
top tower
be
has
difficult
fallen.
to actually combo correctly.
invisibility.
And Nouns lose their tier 2 top. WILDCARD still very heavily in the driver's seat. as Eve can pretty much finish his Scotty. Just will have to go to the secret shop. Or no, I was clicking on Clinks actually. Costabile has it. Eve can buy his Basher. Might just go for the Blink first. We'll see. Now, trying to go high ground. They don't have Aegis, but they can poke. Gonna force some TPs back.
Cancelled by Gunner.
To walk back the old-fashioned way. So now Aghanim Scepter online for Husky. So you have that 60%. Is it 60% evasion? 60% evasion during Solar Guarding. It lasts a lot longer and it heals more. So this could be a very powerful one that will potentially force Troll to get an MKB. I don't know. Worth it or not, but
It is, I think. Actually.
which it's not something he wants to go for normally, but it's not like it's bad.
The
next
thing that
row
wildcard
is
can play on is
Yeah, they're trying to go for. Yeah, they get.
they kill Sammy again, but they haven't really killed the cores, right? Troll has 1 death, Zeus has 0, and Enigma has 1. So out of their 14 kills, 12 are on supports. Whereas Wildcard have found a lot of core kills in this game. So I do agree the Donald with Ags is very impactful, but the silver lining for Wildcard against that is that they have Song of the Siren.
Alex gets the punch of on Costabile, has to pop the BK duty, stuck inside the sharks. Nice swap by Z-Freak, keeping his comrade alive. And that's actually not that bad of a trade as Husky. You can see the ult came in. That's why it took so long for him to get that kill, but he dies shortly after, so not able. I have to actually have to ask you about the mechanics of that in just a moment. Being able to cancel that easily is okay. Looks like Gunner's gonna get spotted and brought down thanks to the stun from both Alex and the Nimbus. Unluckily for Wildcard, Roche is not up for another 30. Will give
Dire's bottom tower
Nouns a
is
chance to
under attack.
respawn entirely.
Dire's structures are fortified.
But now they can
Donald
just
cannot
go for the high
Donald
ground.
cannot cancel. You have to land.
Got it.
Radiant's
cancel
middle
at the
tower
beginning?
is under attack.
You can't cancel.
Dire's
You have to
bottom
land.
tower is under attack.
So if you
Radiant's
have
structures
Ags, you can
are
Before
choose when
Axe,
to land.
you can cancel, right?
No, then you can choose when you land. So it has longer duration, and you can toggle it again when you want to land, but you have to land
Radiant's
eventually.
middle tower is under attack.
We'll talk about that in just a moment. Yeah, I know what you mean with the Aghanim Scepter. It's supposed to be like get stunned out, and he's just getting brought down to his knees. Eve is owning, and again, the stun onto Moo. Another kill for Alex.
That's ugly. Costabile just went for that push, and they just TP 2 heroes in the trees and go on him. I don't know what why he felt safe there.
Husky, he is already at half HP, and they barely used anything. As the buyback from Moo, likely to force Wildcard back. Song,
Oh boy.
they might get
Oh,
the
they can
setup
black hole
Syndra.
all 3.
Black BKB. There we go. One was able to blink out though, surprisingly. But they
on the
find
edge.
2 kills, and that's a dieback onto Moo. As Eve and company can try to finish this game right here, right now. They push extremely fast.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack. Radiant's
We didn't even get to see a blink dagger on Devi or a Lincoln. This game is just gonna finish. Ceterax mid. They're gonna get the second. Fortification is popped though.
Is under attack.
Again, no buybacks available for Nouns. This is 2 racks for sure. They can't get megas. So they'll likely back up and just go for Roche.
Yeah, 2 lanes in a row is pretty good.
Radiant's top barracks.
All in a day's work. Pretty good payout.
Okay, we have to talk about this.
Okay.
Dawnbreaker, before Aghanim Scepter, you can
Yes.
stop your ult.
No.
Are you 100% sure? Because if you get stunned, you don't land. And if you hit S,
Yeah,
you
the
don't
enemy
land.
team can stop your ult.
Yeah, I feel like you can. Okay, well, maybe it's changed since the first week that I played. I definitely did that.
Am I stupid?
Maybe
I
I'm
feel like
stupid. I'm
I
normally
feel like
the
you
stupid
cannot
one.
cancel this ult in any way yourself. Once you've cast it, you have to land. Okay.
Well, we won't see because Venge is dead. And the rest of Nouns, I mean, they're going to have to try to go for this rush, but
They get tossed.
Okay. That's gonna buy some time though for Troll and Sammy Boy to try to take out this Roche.
Roshan
Number
has
2.
fallen to the dire.
Sammy Boy, no ult quite yet, 17 seconds, but the shard is now there, along with the Aegis. He can be popped by Divine Llama, gonna avoid all that damage. Eve just jumps in, focusing on Costa Bile, stun locked. Jeez, he has no chance to get away. Black Hole just on move, but that's gonna likely cause the GGs to come out as 4 are dead with no buyback from Nouns.
Not
Gunner.
even remotely close, Shannon. This game is...
Yeah.
I am
crazy.
very surprised, I have to say, that this game went like this. I told you before the series started, you were like, you know, you think Wildcard is a clear favorite, there's a very high chance, or sorry, you think Nouns are clear favorite, you think there's a very high chance to win 2-0. And I'm like, no, there's maybe 33% that this is a 2-1.
Has fallen.
And I was not expecting that to come about like this. And at this point, it could easily be a 2-0 for Wildcard with how much they stomped in this game. This wasn't even remotely close.
Yeah.
They just actually ran them over the whole game, outplayed them, outmaneuvered them.
Very well played from Wildcard. Nouns are going to have to bring something new to the table for game number 2 because and that's the one thing we didn't really talk about. These teams have played each other a lot, so definitely a lot of experience for Wildcard to try what Nouns is doing. And then the one thing we barely discussed, which is the beginning, is they don't have Esk, so it's a bit of a wild card, no pun intended, for Wildcard Gaming, giving them a little extra boost. Whereas Esk was pretty valuable for the team. I feel like he was the standout player a lot of the time.
I think Esk has generally played very well this game. And I think what Alone has done in this game on Zeus, I do believe Esk could have done the same. Like, I don't know enough about these two players to really know their like specialties as far as hero tools are concerned or whatever, but Alone has played a very solid Zeus game until now.
Alone, he's gonna get swapped up, but uses the E-Blade on himself and will survive. No members dead yet for Wildcard because they're just beating the crap out of Nouns. Sammy Boy with the song, GG's come out. Wildcard take game 1, and my goodness, the first item Octarine on Divide ends up working out. All 4 predictions incorrect, which maybe we should just pick what we don't think is correct.
Maybe we should just random.
Yeah, actually no, we got the second one right.
Smoke
Total
ganks.
number of smoke gank kills, which was 0. Well done, Cinderella.
Yeah, what can
What shall I call this one then?
Radiant team pick. Dire team pick.
There's profit.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Radiant team pick. Mirana. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Oh my God! Welcome back to game number 2 between WILDCARD and NOUNS for this upper bracket semis for the NA TI11 regional qualifiers. Suns fan here with Cinder. We're in the draft already, and NOUNS lost game 1, and they're bringing out the big guns, Cinder. And this is a Z-Freak Mirana, the best Mirana player, in my opinion, of all time from the support position. Very, very good.
That is a big statement.
It's a true statement, Cinderin.
That is a big statement.
I've been wrong a lot the last few days. I'm correct on this one. And this is
he is very, very
thing.
good. There's a couple of others that could rival him for the title, but
no one rivals.
10
Z-Freak
seconds
is
remaining.
alone. Okay. Now the Primal
Alright.
Beast could be mid,
5
right? We could
seconds
see that
remaining.
switch up, but Wildcard start out with
Dire
VP
team
Marcy.
ban.
Yeah, so really strong 1-2 here for Wildcard, right? Or I shouldn't say 1-2, it's 1-4, because the overall first pick of the draft was the Death Prophet. I don't think either of Nouns' heroes is a particularly strong DP counter, so we'll see what they choose for solving that problem later in the
10
draft.
seconds remaining.
Wildcard already starting to protect her with a Chrono ban as well as a Bloodseeker
5
ban. I say
seconds
Chrono,
remaining.
it is of course Faceless Void. More than just a Chrono, it's not his entire identity.
Radiant team ban.
And the Troll now banned out for Nouns. They had some serious problems with that hero last game. I feel like they did not solve it at all. And they're also going to ban the Enigma. So quite the change up now for Wildcard. We'll see if they can bring it again in the second game. But last game was very impressive.
Yeah, and from the first
10
phase bans, I
seconds
believe the
remaining.
only difference is the Enigma ban this time
5
from
seconds
Nouns.
Yes,
remaining.
the rest of the bans are the same.
So we'll see what they want to combo with Mirana, because you obviously need some sort of a setup. Primal Beast won't really have any kind of a setup until he's level 6, and even then
Dire
that's
team ban.
easily cancelable by the enemy team. But yeah, I'm more interested, like I said, whether Primal Beast is going to be played by Gunner or not. Last game, I thought Moo did a good job, but they just got stomped. Like after the laning stage, it was all Wildcard every time. There was never any trades. It
10
was just
seconds
Wildcard were
remaining.
winning every fight handily, and it was just a
5
downward
seconds
trajectory there for
remaining.
Nouns.
Yeah, they once again, two of the big problems they had in the last game are not available here. So let's see if it was a one-off or if Wildcard are just the better team today. And the mental aspect, you also got to keep it in mind, right? Like, you lost game 1, you probably came in with a lot of confidence. Like you said, Moo was laughing before game 1 or during the draft, right? Or smiling, or whatever it was, which was apparently rare for him. To go from that kind of mindset to just getting rolled like that is, you need to have some backbone to not, not get sucked into a hole and just lose the second game in a bad way. So hopefully they can reset and focus on this one.
Remaining.
Obviously, this is an upper bracket match, so there's no elimination on the line, but the guaranteed last chance qualifier slot is here. If you win this game, you're top 3. And you'll be facing up against Sonics, who you more than likely, ultimately, whichever way this goes about, you will have to beat at some point if you want to win. Because if Sonics lose the upper bracket finals, probably whichever team loses today will face them later. So very likely that these 3 teams that we have in talks here, WILDCARD, Nouns, and Sonics, will be the 3. That makes this match all the more important.
Very interesting Lich pick, though. We have, I'm trying to see the synergies here. You have Frost Shield for Primal Beast, so doing a little bit of damage, but obviously the damage mitigation is huge, so he's going to be super tanky. But outside of that, it's not like an arrow setup at all. I mean, it's a slow. The ult doesn't look particularly amazing this game, not yet at least. Maybe there's something they have planned to combo with it. And we're going to see the Naga again, which this one could be a 1. We don't really know. I think if you first 2 pick Naga, it's probably not a carry. Even this early, probably not a carry. Especially since it worked out pretty well for Sammy Boy.
I think it's probably a 5 again. I don't know if you want to put this hero carry against Primal Beast in general. I think it's a free lane for Primal if he plays that off lane when it's played in the carry role. The reason it went well last game was that the carry of the lane was Troll, which is a much harder lane matchup for Primal than Naga 1.
Team pick.
Let's say you played like Naga Marcy or something, I think it would be way too difficult. They're going to get Luna as their ranged carry this time instead of Troll that was banned. So this lane, I would argue, is significantly weaker against Primal Beast than the Troll lane was. However, Lucent Beam is a very long-range interruption of Onslaught, so you need to be careful where you cast that from, obviously. But once you're on top of Luna, she is just food for this.
Yeah. See how that works out for WILDCARD. I mean, just the Luna Naga combo in general for lane, would you say that that's okay? Like, how strong is it overall? Not like, just forget about
Naga lane in isolation.
Yeah, just in isolation.
It's all right. It's not a good lane. It's fine.
It's not terrible, but it's definitely, yeah, I wouldn't say it's good.
Yeah, the logic is that Naga is a tanky 5 that can frontline for you and farm. And later on, she offers you a save and some teamfight setup. But yeah, by nature, this is very, very different because there isn't the Enigma factor as well.
Okay.
This is a very good Terrorblade game. Good hero against DP, good hero against Luna. I guess the matchup against DP is actually better now for DP than it used to be, because this used to suck for DP since her Drain wasn't very good against TB since she has low base health. But with the new one that is flat damage, you're very strong against TB for a certain time of the game.
10 seconds
but
remaining.
Obviously, Terrorblade has an amazingly high armor, which is great against Exorcism. And he naturally wants to be a ranged carry that buys Scotty, and Death Prophet hates that. She needs the mobility, she needs to not be slowed, and she needs to heal. And Scotty counters both aspects of the hero. Also, the matchup against Luna is amazing. You reflect her, and that illusion is very strong. So I think this was probably the single best pick Nouns could pick in this slot. And I'm hopeful for them that game 1 will not be repeated based on this alone.
So WILDCARD looking for a mid laner, and Nouns either a mid laner or an off lane. Not sure where the Primal Beast will go still.
Pick.
I guess you decide that once they see this pick, which I was actually going to mention Timbersaw. I thought it would have been okay for Nouns as well, because it is a Moo hero, even though it's not against any strength heroes, although Timbersaw is now strength. But that should be... Wait, is that an offlane or is that a mid, Timber?
10 seconds remaining.
I think, knowing this team, it's probably offlane for Divine Llama, right? You want to put that guy in this hero.
That's true. He's dominated a lot on
It is
Timber.
his #1 signature hero. So you put him on that. You put a mid DP for Kiara, or Lone, as he's called in game. And then you probably, as Timber, are pretty confident in this lane once you hit level 3. Like, you just need some little bit of space against this Terrorblade and you should be able to farm. This is a nice Quap last pick as well, though, I think.
Yeah, so Gunner, Queen of Pain. So Moo will be back on that. And we don't get to see the mid Primal Beast. I'm a little bit sad about that, but Nouns don't want to do anything too crazy. They have no setup for Arrow, but Z-Freak, I mean, I did claim he's the best Mirana of all time,
Yeah.
Cinderin. He doesn't need any setup. But again, against Naga, it's going to be pretty annoying.
You say they have no setup, but they have Sinister Gaze, Shannon. And we know Lich can always frontline and set you up, so that is not going to be a concern.
Yeah.
You also have Pulverize, to be fair, which is, in a lot of situations,
seconds
very
remaining.
reliable for Mirana to
Yeah, but
connect on.
I'm talking
So
about
it's not-
more laning stage setup.
Yeah,
5
there's nothing in the
seconds
laning
remaining.
stage. Absolutely nothing.
Just a bunch of slows, so you'll have to rely on Z-Freak
Yeah.
on being a god, which we'll see if he has it in him. But yeah, whose lineup do you like?
I think overall, put me on the spot. I think it's pretty close, but if I had to pick based on what happened in game one and how, like, what problems there were, I think probably slight edge to Nouns. I think the Terrorblade pick in this game is just that good, and if the Vailama doesn't take over on Timber, I feel like at some point Wildcard will struggle to deal with the TB. I don't think they have the best heroes for it. At the same time, Wildcard's lineup has the potential to take over the map. If Timber's having a good game and DP's having a good game, these heroes are going to run around and they're going to put a lot of pressure, and Luna will get huge in the jungle. So there's definitely, it's pretty close. I'm more concerned for Nouns about how they bounce back mentally from the last game. Like, if they're going to be confident, if they're going to, you know, play with determination, not hesitate, pretend it didn't happen, and start over. I think that's what they're going to need.
Okay, so game number 2 about to start here between Wildcard Gaming and Nouns. Obviously, Nouns came into this being the favorite of the two. They have dominated Wildcard for the most part throughout the last few seasons of DC, and I was like right on the fringe of being on the same level as Nouns, but this last season they kind of dropped off. Now they're playing with a stand-in, and in game 1 they looked quite good. And the beginning of the game means that it's time for prediction center. And total number of player deaths by 25 minutes. Is this a brawler type game?
It very well could be. I'm going to say 25 minutes.
Yeah, that's close. 0 to 15 or 16 to 25. It's one of the two. That's
Oh, I was going to say maybe 26 to 35. Let's say 16 to 25.
all right, 16 to 25. Will there be a teleport canceled by stun by
No,
10
it's
minutes? That's true. Player with highest total magic or pure damage done to heroes at game end. So it's probably based on who you think will win this. Queen of
That
Pain,
could be
perhaps?
Gunner or Devi.
Queen of Pain. Wait, does it count? Yeah, it's magic or pure. I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
let's take Gunner for this. I think.
30 seconds.
Will
to
a tower be denied? I'm gonna say yes. It almost always is.
I'll say no.
I feel like there's always a
I
denial.
wonder what the stats are for that. I wonder how big a percentage of pro games a tower is denied. I think it's way less than 50, so you should always select no.
All right, we'll see, Cinderin. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, buddy.
And a broken clock is right twice a day, so I'm due.
Yeah,
About time for that.
that's called gambler's fallacy. Right? that is not how you
The
bet.
battle begins.
See. Let's see, buddy.
2 runes per team. Nobody walking away with an advantage this time. We're taking a little bit of a beating here from Naga. Keep in mind, like, look at Naga's base stats, right? As a support. So 7 armor because of the 4 branches and 4 HP regen. It's worth noting when you're playing this hero as a 5 that in the past, especially in the TI3 era, when this hero had the active Riptide, which was very, very strong in tri versus tri-lane scenarios, Naga has always had this amazing armor and pretty good laning presence. You wouldn't think she's tanky. She's like an agi melee hero, but look how much Sam can actually do here just by walking around on Z-Freak. I feel like they actually have to trample these illusions to
Yep.
deal with this problem.
Does have
relatively
trample
soon.
level 1, and we should mention Z-Freak went for Starstorm level 1, which is not usual at all. I think part of it is to deal with these illusions and maybe secure a range creep. Then again, range creep could be secured easily with an arrow.
Yep.
So I don't think I've ever seen Starstorm level 1 before on a Mirana. That means that he's gonna have to stick around till level 2 and he can't really roam. Obviously Moo can't really survive in a 1v2 anyway to start the game. So we'll see how early Z-Freak is able to kind of get outside of this lane and help somebody else. That is where really shines with his arrow precision, Cinderin.
Yes.
Is using the anime model. Not sure if that's going to help or hurt. No, by the end of the game,
that's
I guess.
fair.
Yeah. Arrow looks like on that cosmetic, but there is a pay to lose arrow cosmetic way back in the day that easier to see, easier to distinguish between your actual right click. So don't use that one if you want to win games, although pros do it all the time. And mid lane alone, pulling Gunner a little bit at the start of this in terms of just the harassment. See, 9-2 versus 9-1. Yeah, very even. Yes. You see, the water rune is denied by the illusions of Sammy Boy, so he's helping Alone out globally.
That is another benefit to the 5 Naga. That's a pretty big deal, actually. Gunner will not be able to sustain his harassment now onto Alone, whereas Alone can drain away. Gunner doesn't have Blink, so this drain will do casual 200 damage and heal. So a 400 health exchange for 80 mana. Pretty good.
And at what point for Devi Lama will he just be okay in this top lane? Is it level 3, which he is now, 2 levels in reactive?
So the dynamic might be different with the new reactive armor, right? Which needs more time to build up and is worse against creeps. True. I do think you theoretically can leave him alone, but where Alex go? Like maybe he can gank bot. I suppose. Wait, Husky might actually kill him here.
Frost Blast. Oh, that's very close. 10 HP. Husky needs another right click.
Oh, what was
He'll
that
find
range?
it, and it's not enough.
Oh,
still.
he got the hero
The
block.
stout shield. The built-in stout shield procs or Marcy, so no first blood this time.
Dies if that's not a block right there.
See the new laning set up here. The creeps will meet in this side of the river. It's a coming patch. Be enjoyed. That very often. Right. A little bit low on CS right now. 6-0, 20-9 for Costa Bile. He is crushing right now.
Has been killed.
Yeah, it's the biggest difference between the two teams right now is the off lanes. The Primal Beast is having a much better time in terms of farm. Nice. Bullied a little bit here, but yeah, 14 stacks on the armor makes him feel very strong, safe. So should be able to find some farm eventually. And obviously level 6, a big breaking point in this lane where Terrorblade is suddenly at risk. And Timbersaw should be able to find it before
Radiant's
the Terrorblade
courier
does,
has been
given that
killed.
he gets to play 1v2.
Yeah. Like you said, Moo left alone in the bot lane, so he's going to be very happy with that. And I think level's super important for this hero. And he has 2 in trample, so expect that third one to be taken so that they can try to go for a potential kill. The fact that he does magic damage against a hero like Luna is damn valuable. She has very high
Radiant
armor.
structures are fortified.
Okay. Interesting onslaught. Yeah, Moo. They're going to try to right click him, but he does have stacks of uproar. Here comes Alex as well, but he's going to be able to dodge the stun from Moo's side. He's just going to try to right click his way, knowing that he's likely to fall, but he gets disposed, and that's first blood finally. And Eve gets it. Of all the heroes you want to give that up to,
Dark Moon.
Yep.
now it's perspective. It is not the Luna.
Not meant to be.
That's the luxury you have with an offlane Timber against this lane, right? Marcy does have the luxury of moving, and she chooses the right place, because mid lane is not happening, right? You're not killing this Queen of Pain with a DP. So bottom lane is the obvious choice. Devi is still not looking too hot on the CS department. I think Costa Villa has done an excellent job out denying him here. But he is getting levels slowly.
He is.
This is highly uncharacteristic for Devi, though. I wonder how he's going to play Timber when he gets this screwed on CS, because usually he has been dominating in his Timber games in the offlane where he's had a good laning stage. But this time around, that is just not the case. He's starting to miss chains here.
Yeah. Tilted. Tilted.
And it's got to be it.
So, would you say that it was an overall nerf for Timber? The reactive armor change?
Yeah, it's a nerf. Absolutely.
So, on top of that, the Soul Ring also costs more, so that's another nerf to him. As
Find Moo again.
Who dies in the bot lane again. Pushes him up, bottles the regen. Not really able to do too much damage to this tier 1 though. Z-Freak does not have lead, so he's dead.
Right.
Trying to take out Alex on the way out, but not going to happen. So 3-0 advantage for Wildcard again to start this game.
I really think there's a lot of good things to be said about tri-laning against Primal Beasts when you're able to. I think this hero suffers in situations where it's outnumbered, unlike, say, as a type of offlaner like Timbersaw, where at a certain point you're just too tanky. In this game, if you were to tri-lane the Timber with Mirana, Lich, Terrorblade, you're not going to kill him, but Mu is struggling, even with max uproar stats, to stay alive against these 3 heroes with Luna Aura. It's just too much damage, it's overwhelming. Keep in mind now as well, with the changes now, Luna Aura for his entire team globally at nighttime. So
oh yeah, I forgot
this
about that.
will help Timber quite a bit. He has an extra 20 damage in that top lane that he doesn't usually have.
That's legit.
And it raises the farming speed of DP in the jungle now because she has 20 damage camp. And it's one of those things where you read the patch and you're like, is this like giga broken or okay? And you just don't know.
Belay, top lane, is getting blocked perpetually, and he's dead. Huge kill for Wildcard.
Vi gets 6 from this as well. He does have Sunder skilled now in Terrorblade. I guess he didn't have the mana to use it there, but the thing about Timber going on you and you sundering him is that you might not return kill him anyway if you get a perfect Sunder. You actually have the damage to punish if you do survive.
Yeah.
They find Sand bot, so that's a throwback to last game with them killing the Naga.
Dire's top tower is
Yeah,
under
but it
attack.
required a lot. They had to do 2 rounds of spells. It was just absolute annoyance in this bot lane. Yep, he's gonna focus on Husky, but Costa Belay's here with that meta, along with the trample now. Gotta be careful if you're DP, but he's gonna pop the piggy,
Is under
and we'll
attack.
live as a result. Sammy Boy showing his moral support as the onslaught's coming from Moo, but he doesn't have any follow-up whatsoever. Ups the uproar, but really to no avail. As the glitch ended up going down to Sammy. What in the world?
Radiant's
So he
bottom
likely
tower
will
is
fall
under
here.
attack.
That was without him.
Arrow
Dire's
coming.
top tower
Not
This
connecting.
is space with a capital S, man. He's killing the Lich, and Gunner now shows up for this.
Dire's structures are
Finally,
fortified.
he's gonna die, but
Dire's middle
delayed the
tower
push
is
by
under
a grand
attack.
30 seconds. And
Radiant's
5
bottom
heroes
tower
bought
has
just for
fallen.
that, and Devi is gonna take the top
Dire's
tower
top
alone.
tower is under attack.
Pretty happy with that if you're Wildcard, I think.
Vi starting to recover a bit. Still net worth-wise kind of middle of the pack, but if you compare him to Moo, who has died 2 times,
Yeah.
they're
Dire's
basically
top
on
tower
par.
has fallen.
Oops. Lost the
Radiant's
last hit on the
bottom
tower
tower
to
is
1
under
range
attack.
creep. That's unfortunate.
It happens. Those range creeps are really pesky.
You were hoping that would count as a deny, Shannon, but it doesn't, so we're still good on that one.
I have the whole game for that, so I think
Yeah.
I'll be all right.
You do. How often do you see a tier 3 tower denied, though?
Dire's top
Yeah,
tower
that is
is
the
under
You're gonna
problem.
run
attack.
out of options when the tier 2s are down.
Yeah. Wait, do buildings count? Just building.
I don't know. It says towers, so it probably works even on creeps.
Probably bugged horribly. Like to see that. Appreciate the help, Valve. The Moo. Yeah, you can see the farm. I mean, it's 10 minutes in. He has 1 bracer, phase boots. Just finished his soul ring. So definitely more behind than he was last game.
Oh, Gunner.
We're gonna see the Sonic Wave onto Eve, attempting to TP out, but he will not get out in time. Gunner sending the Luna back to base. Big kill for Nouns. They needed that big time.
Yeah. And the gold is dead even. It keeps switching sides. Who is less than 1k ahead? I don't think I've actually seen this. It swapped like 6 times in 10 seconds who was ahead on gold. So completely zero right now between the two. That's a big Luna kill though. Got a lot of value out of that deep observer ward that they placed quite a while back. Instead of that Sonic Wave kill. And now it's daytime, so the Radiant lineup is weaker again for 5 minutes.
So weird.
Keep in mind.
Yeah, have we seen a Night Stalker Luna lineup recently? And Lycan. Remember we thought Lycan was going to be OP with this patch, and I haven't seen him. Or did they nerf that?
I don't think they nerfed it yet, actually. I'm not mistaken.
Sammy Boy, TP, Husky, Sinister Gaze, brings him back into the fray. Another kill from Nouns. The Vi Llama has been left alone in that bot lane, and he is starting to catch up Cinder, and he's creating, I mean, that's 700 gold now, discrepancy between him and Moo. That's what, again, the missed Timber Chain. Not very often you see that from the Vi. But he has his arcane soul ring and gonna be finishing his hood soon.
For Nouns is that Terrorblade is having a very good time. And this was the hero of the game that we were talking about. It was a very good pick and has only really been countered by the Timbersaw, which is debatable how big of a counter it is. I think if Costa Vila continues on this trajectory, the Dire will be looking very, very strong come later in the game. It's just a lineup, it's just a matchup that Luna really does not enjoy. It's so hard to play when Terrorblade starts getting that Scotty plus, let's just say Manta Scotty. Already then, it's really hard. And then when he starts having actual damage items, you're just screwed. So, feels a little bit like Wildcard might be on somewhat of a timer later on, that they don't want this game to go too late. This time they don't have that Enigma to fall back on. Quap also scales amazingly well, of course.
Yeah, don't mention that. Exorcism is popped by Alone, and that is going to spell doom for Zephyr. It's going to be a trade for Alex, though. I don't think we've seen an arrow connect. Had to say something, didn't I? Yep. So he has no setups. What are they doing? Making it so hard on my boy. Gunner gets in there with the Sonic Wave, or the Scream of Pain. He gets silenced, though, so biding his time a bit. It's here the onslaught coming in. That's to finish off Sammy Boy. Alone. No overrides to come. Nice Llama and Alex have come to defend.
Pretty happy with that. If you're Nouns, you held your mid tower and you didn't need to rotate Terrorblade. It's just farming in the meantime and you held it with the other heroes. You're going to smoke immediately. Look for the next move. Gonna be ganking this bottom creep wave so hard as there's absolutely nobody down there for them to find, but...
Poor creeps have no idea what's coming.
Yeah. Who do you think is going to kill them?
Boy, it's going to be Moo, of course. Gunner's there. Uh-oh.
Could be anyone. Mid, so...
Okay.
Even from the brightest.
I want to go on Alone.
This would be a big one.
Dire's
Under
middle
the cover of the
tower
tier
is
1
under
tower.
attack.
It is so hard to gank out of Smoke or Moonlight Shadow as Primal Beast now that it's audible when you cast Onslaught. You know, like, Alone will just...
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, maybe from this angle it's good.
Here he comes. Gonna connect onto Alone. Override's not even needed, just the trample, and now they're gonna turn it into a tier 1 tower as Costa Vila has shown up as well with his Treads and Yasha in tow. But Sammy Boy, Siren, just to delay. Doesn't look like it's used to set up anything as Z-Freak kind of caught out here a bit, but
Radiant's middle
looks to be
tower
fine.
has fallen.
1 tower dead in favor of Now. Another the trample coming. Moo. Looking for the pulverize. Finally gets it, but he gets stunned out of it. Alex trying to create some space for Divide to get out. Looks like Divide is fine, but Alex not so much. Wildcard. Not able to defend their tier 1 tower. They lose the support. Could be worse though, as Gunner blinks away. He's got a Witchblade Treads. I'll get a double damage rune on top of that.
In the meantime, Eve was farming, but yeah, this is looking very good for Nouns right now. Getting that mid tower, getting that DP kill. Solid stuff from them, and now they can go back and chill a little bit. They used Metamorphosis, so now Costa Vila is just going to be farming for the next 2 minutes. Working on getting that pretty timely Manta. Kind of impressive that Luna is neck and neck with him right now in terms of net worth, given how things have played out.
Yeah, I have a question about the itemization from Luna as we approach the mid-game now. First, we're going to see Moo. Ooh, no stun there from Alex. Exorcism with the illusions, though. Likely get the tier 1 tower, but we're going to see a lot of heroes defending this from Nouns' side. Huckram comes in. Here comes the onslaught from Moo with the trample. Not able to hit anybody initially, but does get the full pulverize onto Alone. And that's the death of him. Double kill for Gunner as Marcy takes a tumble.
Yeah,
a nice
huge.
defense from Nouns.
That was without using Sonic even. That's just the double damage on Queen, Frost Shield, and the Primal Beast with Trample going to town on that DP. Doesn't have the BKB. Went for Aetherlens. I think in this game, his item build is going to turn out to be a mistake. I think you actually have to get BKB here so you can protect yourself from Primal Beast. You're gonna get just charged and pulverized every fight by this hero when he gets BKB, and there's nothing your team can do about it. They can use Song of the Siren, but the Primal +1 BKB hero is probably gonna just kill you. So.
Oh boy, ensnare, arrow, not gonna hit. Over, God knows how many at this point. Moo. frost shield, so not gonna take that much damage, but he is at half HP. And will be forced away by the couple of TPs from Wildcard. So back to Luna's item progression.
Radiant are
She
scanning.
has Dragonlance Yasha. I think Manta's coming, right? Surely.
Dire's top
Or maybe she's
tower
going
is
straight for the
under
Going
BKB.
straight BKB.
BKB first, and then Manta to follow in all likelihood as we see Sammy Boy die. Any consideration for like a fourth item Ags against TB once the BKBs have kind of worn down a bit at that point? But I feel like that's the one thing that Luna can offer that could potentially own TB in the later stages of the game.
It's kind of
Pretty expensive though.
Yeah, I think it is what some Lunas used to do actually to try to solve this matchup. So it is a possibility, but depending on what items you're against, it can also really backfire, right? Like the enemy team has Glimmer Cave, Force Staff, you know, any sort of things that can get them out of trouble. I'm not convinced. The other thing is, if you do go that route, are you actually going to have the damage to win fights in general? Like, are you just relying on one-shot combo, and if it fails, what's your backup plan? And you have no plan B, right?
Sammy Boy's trampled. There's it! Oh, he missed it again! Oh, God! Oh, no, Z-Free. They get the kill anyway, though. Move on the run.
Thank you.
I only used it one arrow. God damn it, Z-Free.
Best Mirana in the world, baby.
It's a tough Mirana game, alright?
I believe you.
And the trample is weird. It has like a weird Z axis that you can't really predict what the hell's gonna go on with that spell.
I actually don't know. So if you pulverize someone, right, and you click the arrow where the pulverize started, is it even a guaranteed hit, or can it miss based on where the hero is in the air?
Yeah, that's the question.
I actually don't know. Because if that's the case, then setting up for arrow means that you need to arrow when the pulverize ends.
You really gotta time it well.
I mean, it shouldn't be that hard, right? It's kind of like arrowing on top of an astral. You just need to know the time. And then
Radiant's top tower is under
it becomes
attack.
muscle memory at some point, right?
Yeah, I guess.
People hit arrows on astral
Dire's
imprisonment
bottom
consistently
tower
at
is
this
under
level.
attack.
Well, I think it shouldn't be
Radiant's
that
top
hard because
tower
I
is
feel
under
like
attack.
there's enough time for the arrow to still connect, even if it's halfway through.
Yeah, I guess you could also just stop the pulverize
Worthy tribute.
Yeah,
if you wanted to guarantee that it hits.
Either way, thing I love about these new heroes like Primal Beast, there's so many cool interactions that we just don't know the answer to. I actually like not knowing some of this stuff because it means I can learn some more sooner and then forget about it later. Of course, that's
Dire's
usual.
middle tower has fallen.
When you've been around as long as
Radiant's
us,
top tower is under
old
attack.
patch notes start to creep into your brain
Radiant
and you get
structures are
confused.
fortified.
Yep.
Part of being senile.
There's an
as well.
arrow.
Okay, arrow connected. Z-Freak on the board. Moo's gonna onslaught TP. Looks to be fine. So still only a 1k lead for Nouns. They do think they have the late game. Obviously the reflection is going to be extremely good against Eve as the game goes on.
Yeah. My biggest concern is I feel like Moo is actually underfarmed. He's made some good moves, but you'd like to have BKB. Yeah, I know. He'd like to have BKB before minute 20 for sure. Like really good Primal Beast games, you have BKB phase Soul Ring at like minute 15.
Oh. I like this move again, and you can see Alone and Sammy Boy trying to create some space for this Roach kill. And Z-Freak is dead.
Oh, they're just
Now into the Roach with takes go, and they're gonna get this for free. The second game in a row that they've gotten the first Aegis.
That's big.
And he is actually, God, I feel so smart. He's going Aghanim Scepter Syndrome.
Yeah,
I'm a
alright.
genius.
I'm not mad at it. It is just high risk, high reward, I think, because, like I said, you have that one opportunity, right? It's not a good ramp up item. You farm slower than you would with regular damage items because per gold, this is not a good farming item ever, Axe, pretty much, except, you know, heroes that get a specific farming spell from it.
Now, I will say, even with like the Force Staffs and whatnot, it's still a pretty big AoE, and you can put it on Devi if you're pretty confident that he's going to be able to stick
Radiant's
to
bottom
the
tower
TB
is under
specifically.
attack.
Definitely a
As
good
long as
friend.
he
It's
hit-
also good on the DP.
Yeah, that's true. Very fast. I mean, you're going to need some sort of Dispel or BKB for him first, though.
Yeah.
I do wonder if you can cast it on a BKB'd ally.
Radiant's bottom
Pretty sure
tower
you can.
is
Probably.
under attack.
Right, Sage Kaya now on Devi. We have a smoke from Nouns on
2 9
4 of the
seconders
5
on
members.
them. They're very strong right now. BKB Quap, BKB Primal.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Wildcard would love to not get caught. So seems like a lot of circles being drawn at bottom, but no one's there. So either both teams think the other team is there, or both teams are like, let's go here.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a let's go here for Wildcard.
He is going to show top lane, so we'll see if that gives any confidence to Arc here. They are also smoked.
Sammy in mid with the real Naga.
Yep, Onslaught is coming. Sammy boy not going to get off his song initially. Might not even need it as here comes the Eclipse as Gunner getting really low. Gets off the Sonic Wave. Barely lives. Last right click brings him down to sub 50 HP. And he TPs out, and that's going to put the fight to an end. Nobody dies.
That was such a beautiful setup from Wildcard. That was a really good bait. The moment Naga gets jumped by Quap, they immediately connect a level 3 rebound and the DP silence. Gunner is total toast there without a BKB, and with one more right click, he would have also died. So close call. But Wildcard with a very good setup there. And they're going to, you know, sure they don't get the kill, but they're going to take advantage of this to go into the enemy ancient area and farm that with the Luna. Get a little bit more benefit out of it.
Devi, he's invis. See if they can set something up in the top lane. Both of these heroes a little bit difficult to take out. Now they have a sentry so they can see Devi. Another sentry. BKB into the pulverize, and no help to come other than the Song of the Siren. But again, the BKB from Moo is going to completely ignore that. Devi, he's Spirit Vesseled. Lich ult as well. A couple more right clicks will do it. Another Spirit Vessel charge used just in case. Nice kill from Nouns. The sentries basically setting that one up for them.
Radiant's top
The BKBs
tower
are now on
is falling.
cooldown, but huge win getting that tower, and they can probably claw their way through the at least a bit of the tier 2 if they want. Nope, they're gonna chill. Okay, even with Timbersaw dead, they're gonna respect this and not go for the tower. They'll farm instead. They'll take the enemy ancients, which is also, you know, great. Bit of a net worth win there. Is it common that Terribly doesn't take a 10 talent?
Go stats instead.
No, he just has leveled all his spells first and taken a 15 talent.
Isn't that normal for like every hero?
I mean, the Conjure Image talent is pretty good, right? 10% extra damage on your illusions seems nice.
Yeah, definitely good.
For every aspect, right? For farming,
Radiant's top tower is
fighting.
under attack.
I feel like this is uncommon, but I could be wrong.
Sammy boy, he's gonna get a little
away.
rebound move speed as the arrow's gonna miss out here.
So Alex went Shard first on Marcy, which is how he saves the Naga there. I wonder what the logic is here over getting that over Blink. I think Alex really likes the Shard.
I trust
For
everyone
just
was
throwing
out of
allies
sight.
out of trouble. It makes it work a bit like Venge Swap, but it gives you way less in the way of catch, obviously, where you could have Blink into Dispose. I know it doesn't stun anymore, so it's way worse than it was before, but you could still force like
Dire's
BKBs or
middle tower
defensives
is
with that
under
and then
attack.
jump out. With this, you don't really have that luxury, because when you jump in, you're dead, basically, this hero.
This was scanned out here, so Moonlight Shadow ends up not being used to full effect. But we have a smoke on the other side as Eve. He's going to be spotted now as Moo. And he's going to get ensnared. Eve jumps in. Arrow's going to come, but the BKB is there from Eve. He has his Eclipse available, but don't want to use that while the BKB's on Moo. He's using nice pulverize to take out Sammy Boy. Aegis is consumed. It actually has a pretty low expiration date, so it's not going to be too bad for Wildcard as Gunner. BKB TP, and they're going to back away. They get the 2 supports, and they're going to call it a day.
And they get Exo. This is a big win for Nouns. They didn't have...
You okay, Synderen? They have lost Synderen. We'll see. So, 25 minutes in, 15-7. Lead for Nouns, 4K lead overall. Gunner has his Witchblade, Kaya going for the full S&K. Wildcard might want to actually fight here, despite not having the Exo. See how aggressive they want to be, but either way, this is creating space for Eve to continue to farm up. They didn't really get the greatest value out of that Aegis, but he is 1,000 away from that Aghanim Scepter, and now that the BKBs are starting to go down a bit, although Bustabile doesn't have one for himself quite yet, as we have a mic issue in the game.
Oh my god!
Very weird hearing our voice line in the game, even though Synderen can't hear me because he is disconnected, you guys get to enjoy a nice casual solo cast with all the insight from yours truly. 2K lead between the TB and Luna though right now, so that's kind of the main discrepancy in the game at the moment. Stabile, the fact that he doesn't even need a BKB yet is kind of a big deal, because this Aghanim Scepter I feel like is only going to be really good once that BKB is lowered in time. But opting to finish the Manta first, still the full Ultimate Orb and Manta recipe away. Still Exo down for a good amount of time despite having the Octarine core for alone. That's obviously the main benefit, but it has put him down in the gold department a bit because he hasn't been able to actually fight consistently without the BKB. But he's not too far away from that. Just about 700 gold or so. It'll be a pretty good time for Nouns to try to fight. Meta is up, Exorcism down. Looks like they'll focus on the tier 2 tower, which will likely just have to be given up here from Wildcard side.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They can get the outpost shortly after as well. They'll have plenty of time to actually defend this tier 2 tower top. It's only a half HP and there's not that much pressure being applied.
Is under attack.
Eve, 150 gold away from that Aghanim Scepter. So this is, I think, Synderen said it, very risky pickup. It's either going to be amazing or terrible and not much in between.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Now poking a high ground for Nouns.
Radiant's middle tower
Gonna get off pretty much a full ultimate as the arrow's gonna connect down to Divine Llama with the Spirit Vessel as well as the Lich Ult bouncing a decent amount. The song being used to slow the pace here. Kind of stuck on the high ground, finally gets off the BKB and the focus is now onto Alone, but the rebound is gonna save him. The Spirit Vessel preventing a lot of the heals from coming out, so he's gonna have to waddle back to the base. Marcy, the only casualty thus far. The Exorcism was popped again, so Nouns, I mean, they're still on a similar timetable because of the meta, but they're able to at least poke this high ground and likely get the tier 3 tower. Nouns coming out onto 2. Double Spirit Siphon. Nouns. Still a decent amount left on this meta. Not sure if they want to go any further, though. They'll be happy with this tier 3 tower taken out, but Gunner's going to get silenced. The BKB is forced. Hello, Synderen.
Hello?
Hi.
Do you hear me now?
I missed you.
This is good. Dang.
What happened to you?
I have no idea what happened. I can't explain. As long as you can hear me now, that's good. I don't know why I lost.
You didn't crash or anything?
No. Stop working. Oh, that
Okay.
was good. All right, I'm back.
You know, we predicted some technical difficulties, but I didn't realize it could be upon us as well.
That's true. It's been generally cursing the players, but I guess it was my turn now.
And watching the game, you didn't have any disconnect or anything?
No, I didn't have a DC, but I was obviously going through my tech stuff to try to make it work, so I'm a little bit disconnected from what happened the last 2 minutes, but...
Well, the tier 3 tower was taken out.
Oh, Luna has her axe. Did she have that during the base push?
That's a good question. Not sure. Either way, Eclipse was down, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right about that item pickup. It's going to be either the reason they win or... Well, I shouldn't say the reason they lose. It's either going to be really good or really bad. I don't think there's much in between.
Arrow. Almost.
Okay, lead for Nouns now as the Manta is picked up officially for Costabile. We've had no answer for him, and I think Vi is supposed to be that answer, but without a BKB, it's going to be tough for him to not get sundered in these fights. He was going for a Lotus initially, but 600 away from finishing the BKB now.
Smoke, or rather Moonlight, and, well, actually both, for an opportunity here. They have a good ward, but there's actually very good Radiant ward coverage here if this smoke breaks. So go now.
Yep, and we have the silence coming out from Sammy Boy, but it looks like he's going to be the first to fall. But the rebound save again. Alex really knows how to use this shard. Pulverizes there. Sammy Boy gets off the Song of the Sign, but the BKB's counteracted completely. So both supports dead for Wildcard Gaming as the Lich Ult used with the shard bouncing left, right, and center as the Vi Llama gets taken out. You can see the Aghanim Scepter from the Eclipse doing a decent amount of damage, but Costabile with the BKB will survive.
He was just
High back
way
forward from
too
Marcy.
late on Luna, right? Like, this was a long fight. If he's there in time with the team, that could have been really big, but that Eclipse comes out basically when the fight is over. Like you said, amazing chain frost there from Husky, getting maximum value out of Ice Spire to just... I think he hit the... what would that have been? 6 or 7 times on the Timbersaw with the chain frost, and surprisingly, he actually ends up trading before he dies on the Timber, which is pretty admirable given the circumstances. Closing in on BKB though, which is going to be very, very big here for Devi. Makes him feel very safe in fights, except against Terrorblade, and even against TB, you can be okay if you come in with a decent amount of reactive armor stacks. So definitely still a way into this for Wildcard, but yeah, my concern is if they buy this Ags on Luna and she's not there on the money with it, it feels even worse, right? Because every minute this isn't put to use is a minute that could have been spent farming with a Butterfly or with this Manta that he now has or whatever. It's very heavy commitment.
And she's going, I mean, she has Manta now, but going kind of all in with this Ags build with the Refresher next on the table. And they're actually going to try to go for Roche again. Will they get away with it a second time? Sammy Boy going to get rebounded. I actually love this from Alex. He's really good at using this shard. We haven't seen that all too often from other players. Alex, oh, looks like the Yules is going to cancel his TP. And it looks like they still want to fight. This is a dieback technically on the Marcy. If Sonic Wave comes in, deletes Sammy Boy, so no supports for Wildcard. And Exorcism is top, so they still want to fight. This looks disastrous. Another beautiful Chain Frost with the Ice Spire. And that is 3 dead in the blink of an eye. Alone, kind of just forced to try to fight his way out of this. But the BKB will only save him for so long. He's going to get a right click down. Triple kill for Gunner. Last remaining member is Eve, and he TP's out, but that is a big loss there for Wildcard, which should set up this Roshan.
Definitely a free Roche here. Gunner now 13-0, really recovering well from that last game, which did just not go his way time around. Much, much better. And with this Aegis, you imagine I mean, maybe you don't even need to wait to go high ground. You have meta ready, and you know the enemy team just used Eclipse. So if you're quick about this and you go straight down mid, you might just turn yourself your first lane of Barret. Because they're kind of low on resources on certain heroes, but...
Alright, they get the Aegis on Costabile. Yes.
Primal, actually, can you even afford?
I think with double Soul Ring, maybe?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really expensive.
Narrowly pull this off, I think. So let's do some quick math, okay? BKB is 50, your ult is 100, so that's 150.
Is under attack.
Pulverize, or sorry, Trample is 75. So like using one set of abilities costs more than 300. You can't use your kit twice.
Soul Ring.
Yeah, but Refresher costs 350.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Yeah, this is really weird.
You actually can't support this. I think he needs a different neutral item. He needs to take. Do they have an item he could take? He could take Pupil's Gift. I mean, you love the Ogre Seal Totem on this hero, of course. So you could also take. You could take the Eye of the Vizier if he wants to fuck himself up even harder.
Yeah, that's a good one. And they're pressuring this tier 3 top. It's going to survive for now. I wish we can see it deny so I can at least get one prediction right. Wait, we have a couple predictions right. Oh, so far we have the first 3 right. The tower, oh my god, you're going to have all 4 right, aren't you? You piece of garbage. Oh. Devi Lama showing himself. Reflection is there. Sinister Gaze to bring him back. Still has his BKB though. And the casual right click's coming in from Eve. Silence on the Costabile. Remember, he has that Aegis, so not fearing too much here. Gets off the Sunder, though. And they're going to turn this around as the Lama has to pop his BKB, but the Sonic Wave finishes them off thanks to the pure damage. And Gunner still continuing his absolutely ridiculous play. 14-0. Going to find a support on the back end as well. So, Nouns in the driver's seat again. Tier 2 mid. They can continue on here if they want.
Middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, nothing stopping them, right? Meta is only half duration. Straight in for this.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I want to see this Refresher play. You know, the funny thing is they can kill that tower top, deny it, and then get the refresh back. That's the play, Cinderella.
Then you might
Instant beam coming in. Eve. No eclipse for 45 seconds. The Coca-Cola's getting pretty damn low. Will fall. There's just the Aegis as alone. 1v4ing right now, it feels like, and actually staying alive. This defense is actually looking successful thus far. Frost Blast is there though. Arrow connects onto Eve, and look at the reflection damage, and Moo comes in with the refresher, deletes the Luna. So I'm gonna keep Alone alive a little bit longer, and Moo, if he survives through this onslaught, the buyback now onto Eve as they just crush Moo in the end. First them down thanks to Divine Llama, but the blink out, Z-Freak staying safe, Husky in the trees, we'll be fine. They don't get too much out of this buyback. They do technically defend, but now it's an 18k lead for Nouns. Yeah, the refresher, I really don't even know what to say. Is that good? Not sure.
It is a good item on the hero. I just, once again, I don't know if he has the right neutral. Like maybe he does. Maybe he could pull it off for that.
I mean, it wasn't like one of those that you use the refresher and you're able to get everything off instantly. It's like a refresher
you reset out, and then you regen a bit, and then you soul ring and go again. I mean, maybe it's fine if you play it like that. You just can't use it. Gunner continuing his absolute terrorizing streak here. 16 now.
Gonna be worth a lot of money.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And from Eve's perspective, that buyback obviously hurts. 2,400 into his refresher, so still a ways to go. And that is kind of the Hail Mary, I feel like, for wildcard in this game too.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Pretty much all in. The problem is Terrorblade is going to buy his own refresher next, potentially at least. Option that Costabile has, and as long as he has a BKB ready whenever Luna ult comes in, he doesn't care. It's going to outlast it in 6 seconds. You refreshes, you refresh, and then it's down to whether you find some sort of key stun, but that's one of the problems Wildcard has. Their only stun is Marcy.
Oh boy. Costabile with the Silver Edge, he's scouting things out. No vision for Wildcard. There's the rebound save potential here, and it's going to be used right off the bat. Sinister Gaze still working throughout all that, and Alone has to pop the BKB. Alex gets killed in the process, but he keeps his Death Prophet alive, which is the important thing. Lama continuing to get chased. Overrides is there. Looking like he's in a lot of trouble, Cinder. What is this range? Aether Lens? Is that it?
Aether Lens and Psychic Headband.
Oh my god.
I think the spell also got buffed at some point to have more cast range.
I love it.
That looks unnatural. How do you wrap chains around somebody with arms that short? He's got like T-Rex arms, for God's sake.
Gotta be magic.
Jeez. Unrealistic. Now the bottom push is coming for Nouns as they look to try to even up this series 1-1. Meta pop by Costabile, and refresher is finished. We're gonna see the last ditch effort from Even Company. Have to force out this BKB first as Sammy Boy just getting crushed, but there's the first Eclipse. Does force out the BKB, and we'll see if he tries to keep this a secret. No, he's actually showing the refresher. Doesn't use it initially though, because BKB has not been used thus far, so could just try to wait this out, get another double ult. The 22k lead is just massive.
So it looks like Costabile wants to go Satanic, and with that you can also just stand your ground through the Luna ult as long as you're not stunned. I don't know if this is better than Refresher. Oh, he actually changed. I do like the Refresher more. He makes the same call here to switch it up. Z-Freak is gonna blink. No problem.
Yeah, the Wildcard not really able to find much of an opening. Now that they've waited this long, they might as well wait 45 seconds for the second Eclipse. And I think they're just going to have to force a fight of some kind. See Eve with the Enchanted Quiver in the backpack, so looking to swap that in after using Ninja Gear.
Structures are fortified.
Although Ninja Gear is still pretty good. I mean, it's move speed, obviously the smoke, and then 25 agility. That's really nice.
Pretty good item.
You really like that more than Enchanted Quiver? Or, I mean, you really like Enchanted Quiver for later?
I think the Ninja Gear might be better. Guess it's kind of close, but it's the consistent 25 agi is very valuable.
Yeah, so okay, he finally gets rid of
Cold embrace.
Wait, was I talking about the wrong hero? I thought you meant Luna.
yeah, because he had the enchanted quiver backpack.
Oh, he
the whole
kept the
time, so
backpack, okay.
I thought he was gonna use it, but I figured that this item was still better though. Ninja
Yeah.
gear. Llama has the Havoc Hammer and actually picks up a Trickster Cloak. So that would likely go to Death Prophet, I would assume. Make her a lot tankier.
Yeah, I think that would be a wise choice. Get that evasion. Terrorblade does not buy any True Strike this game unless he has to. But since Luna hasn't gone Butterfly, that hasn't been a concern. That does, fortunately for them, make that Trickster Cloak better. And yeah, I think if they're going to win a fight, it's going to be off of DP just popping off, right? Like you saw in that last base defense, he got like triple fear off with Spirit Siphon and survived. They can combine that with an Eclipse at some point where the fears are active so the enemy team can't BKB and then you pop your stuff, maybe. But it's a very, very small percentage of this that wildcard string together a fight that works for them. And it is largely a limitation of their draft, right? That they just don't have a stun. Except the Marcy jump. That has really been haunting them in this game because the Queen of Pain has been free to do whatever she wants. Gunner has just been destroying them. So much freedom. So does Terrorblade. Like,
Can't kill the
playing
dead.
Plop and Terrorblade against no stuns is the dream. Like, how are they going to stop you?
Very true.
Gotta itemize a Hex, maybe? It looks like Timber is eyeing it up as a possibility.
Certainly an uphill battle for Wildcard here. I mean, the next power spike, I suppose, for Eve is 25, but since the changes, how XP works, 3 levels is pretty far.
It's very far away. He needs to win a team fight.
But getting that Eclipse Lucent beam mini stun is absurdly strong with Ags, especially when you have the refresher on top. And I think maybe part of the reason he went for this build, aside from the obvious stuff, is Reflection won't do as much damage to you, right? Because you don't go these stat items like Butterfly or Scotty.
That's part of the reason you like going Butter on Luna, right? Against Terrorblade is that your own illusion misses on you.
Does it bounce off yourself? The glaives?
Yes, I believe it still bounces even if it misses, but it doesn't deal damage to you, right? And you can say it goes both ways because, well, if you have Butter and the illusion does as well, it's also harder for you to kill the illusion. But I think at the end of the day, it's probably more important that you stay alive on your main than that the illusion is killed off quickly.
Would you prefer the Butterfly over what he's going for now, which is Daedalus?
How is it Shard works now? Totally different, right? It doesn't use your attack damage anymore. So if he had the old Shard, I would say Daedalus for sure. Now, don't know. I think there's a case to be made about Butter being better choice.
I mean, I feel like Shard is good this game, though. I mean, the Lucent Beams that...
Yeah, with your... That's how it works. You're right. Oh, that's why he's getting Daedalus. Of course, you're right. Yes, if he gets Daedalus and Shard, then...
Oh, BKB force from Eve. He's gonna try to stand his ground against Moo, who has to back away. Let's have the refresher, though. Didn't use any spells, but BKB is kind of the big deal.
Both of them have refuse, and Luna can use hers from far away and then refresh. Needs to knock her pod.
Want to use Eclipse first if she can. BKB. The Gunners is 6 seconds. Moo should be 6 seconds, surely, yeah. And then Stabile should be relatively... Oh, he's used his already. Really? 6. I feel like this was a relatively late BKB from him. It's already at 6 seconds, so... This is where the potential Eclipse Ags shine. Nouns still with a massive net worth lead right now. Divide Llama's going to get jumped. And get some space away from Kostabile, who's in that silver edge form right now. Sammy boy, he's going to get gone on to start things out. He's silenced and he's dead. Buyback available. They kill the Wraith Pact as well. But here comes Eclipse. She's doing a lot of damage to Moo. Has to refresh just to be able to use the BKB. It's the buyback now from Sammy boy. RC dies but buys back shortly after. There's the song.
Yoink, gem.
If they're able to go on top of anybody here, because Kostabile kills the BKB and refresher to work with. Divide Llama just gets crushed. Alone, City's trying to focus on Husky right now. Sammy Boy about to die back, but lives through this engagement. But the Luna, that's the big kill. No buyback from Eve. And that might spell the end of the game potentially, as Alone does find a pick off in the end, but should be able to get more. Good jump now by Gunner. Here, pretty damn strong for Alone, but he is surrounded. He is not alone. Only one hero remaining. GG's call, so this is going the distance, Cinderin. Game 3 is coming.
Game 3 is coming. Yeah, so good recovery here from Nouns. And I say recovery, I mean just bounce back after game number 1, right? Because in this game they were never really behind. I think strategically the whole Naga strategy that WILDCARD have going for them did not work nearly as well as in game 1 because of the heroes they played around it with. A bit lacking in the stun department, in my opinion, against the heroes.
Radiant team ban.
Try to beat the Void in lane, and if they do, I think that's where Nouns are strong with this hero, is that if it's a bad carry Void game, they're just going to throw it in the off lane. So I think you need to be careful not to overcompensate,
Radiant
but rather
team
look at the
pick.
big picture, which is, do we have solutions for these two
Dire
heroes? I
team
think
pick.
AA looks interesting.
Naga Siren.
Again. Naga
Okay.
again.
I mean, Song is good against Chrono. It's an old school counter, but okay, I mean, they really believe in their ideas. You gotta admire it. I can appreciate that they crushed with it in game one, it
10
fails in game
seconds
two, and they
remaining.
still run it back once again, but it was not particularly inspirational in that
5
second game.
seconds
But maybe
remaining.
this time with Song against Chrono, it can have a major impact.
Now, what do you think of position 3 Void? Like, if they counter this too much, they're like, okay, let's just throw it on the off lane instead. Is that even good, though? Like, obviously, it's better
fine.
than having like position 1 get crushed, but like offlaner Void, it used to be a bit of a thing. Obviously, Universe was like back in the day. That was
Dire team
very,
pick.
very popular, but
Face
fallen off
the
since
light.
then. Ooh, now we got the Chrono Solar Guardian combo.
AA is looking better, but I think this Naga will be a support. So I don't think there's going to be space for an AA for wildcard.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I mean, I think offlane Void is actually fine as long as it does fine in lane. If the
5
lane matchup is
seconds
okay,
remaining.
you can play it. You have a Chrono, you have Time Dilation, which is a very strong spell earlier on in the game. And then the challenge, or rather the goal of yours, should be to build a lineup that utilizes Chrono from the carry position. So usually you want to run a ranged carry like some Drow or Sniper or these kind of carries.
Radiant
Troll
team
can
pick.
somewhat do it if it
Here
plays
on.
ranged, but a little bit awkward. Probably actually not so
Dire
much him.
team
Medusa is a little bit on the greedy end, so maybe not either.
Fast troll
You get
pick.
the idea. Instant
Okay,
troll
so
pick, yeah.
we have Z-Freak back on the Mirana. At least that's what it's looking like right now. Again, no setup other than Chrono.
That's a good setup. Long stun.
10
Yeah, but
seconds
that I'm talking
remaining.
again, laning stage. There's nothing for the laning. That's when she really starts to
5
pop off.
seconds
Cinder,
remaining.
okay?
Bash.
Sure. Just make
time
sure you
lock
time
into
that
arrow.
correctly.
Yeah.
See? Look at the troll pick against the Void. Obviously, this is one of the few heroes that, I mean, who wins in a 1v1 battle? I don't even know who wins this. Depends on the items, really.
Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, usually I would say Troll because Void needs too many items to kill you alone, and then Troll presses one button and kills you. So it's like, that's not really how the matchup goes though, right? So I think
Yeah, and
based on
again, keep in
game-
mind the
Radiant
BKB
team
time
back.
walk away isn't a
Dire
thing if
team
you get
back.
Exactly.
netted.
I think the matchup is more troll favored than it used to be because of that aspect that you can't save yourself. So, judging from what happened in game one with the Naga troll, they did very well in lane, and then Eve became huge, and he went dagger, and he just jumped on the Clinks it was in that game and killed him. Could
10
see something
seconds
similar happen to
remaining.
the Void with any sort of setups done. So, I think they're just running it back because
5
they're confident
seconds
based on that
remaining.
first game, but the rules of this game are very different once again because there's no Enigma. I think that was a really big part of why game one worked as well as it did. Now for me, the question is, what are you going to put Davai Lama on in this game that will crush? I think it's a very bad Timbersaw game. It's banned anyway, despite that. They have DP and Void. They still respect it. Maybe concerned about the laning stage being too rough if they want to play a 5 Dawn. Which is obviously still up for debate. It's flex. Play.
Radiant
How
team
about
ban.
a Mars?
Mars looks pretty good. Yeah.
Dire
At least,
team
yeah.
Does not work anymore, right?
Yeah. Correct. And the Dragon Knight. Assuming
well-
that the offlane is the pick to go now, or mid, because they also banned Zeus, so a little bit of everything, really.
Yeah, they're not sure. We'll see what Gunner is playing, or not
10
Gunner, what
seconds
Costabile is
remaining.
playing.
I think Costa Villa will be playing the Void. I'm pretty confident
5
that they believe in a
seconds
carry
remaining.
Void against these matchups,
Radiant
so
team pick.
probably putting Mu
In
on
the spirit.
All right.
Dawn, and then Ember mid.
So
Could
that
be a
is good
support
news
Death
for
Prophet.
all the Arcana fans, unless they do a Costabile Ember somehow.
What's better
mid
here?
DP.
Is it better to play core DP or core Dawn? Because you can play
10
DP5.
seconds
In
remaining.
Eastern Europe, that was something that BetBoom won a lot of games with. Soneko 5
5
DP.
seconds remaining.
I know Husky plays the hero. He also plays Dawn, so both options are available. I think the last pick decides it. The thing is, he performs, I would say, worse in lane against Troll than Death Prophet does, unless Dawn has a very strong 4 with her, so you can kill. I just don't see Mirana being that hero. So maybe you just play the DP Mirana off lane and you farm. You play double ranged against Troll, you keep hitting him. An opportunity, maybe you don't. As long as you get your gold, you're happy.
Keep in mind that Moo is the one drafting, so he could always just choose whatever the hell he wants to play, what he feels like
That's not
playing.
how it works.
I don't actually. That is not true. I mean, maybe for your teams because you're a respectable young man, Cinder.
No, but when it comes to picking heroes after the draft is over, it's whoever clicks the fastest.
Oh, I see. So whoever has. I mean, Moo is one of the older players on the team. So
yeah, so slower mouse.
maybe don't have.
You know?
Yeah. True.
If Husky wants a hero, he will zoom his way into it right away together with Gunnar against these old boys.
Okay, so Wildcard looking for a Divide hero because I don't think any of these can be played off lane.
Let's keep in mind, we watched a series earlier today where Ember mid got absolutely trashed by Lina, and that is what we're lining up for here, right? So Gunnar has to be careful that he doesn't just get flat out.
Oh,
Nice.
okay. I love Slaughter. I mean, you get the Roche capabilities now for sure.
5 DP.
Right. So as expected, Moo will be playing the Dawnbreaker. That's what he wanted to play, Cinder. He's the captain after all.
Yeah.
And yeah, so last pick, Slaughter. We don't get to see this guy all too often. Some changes. Part of his ags has just become part of his kit now, right? With sprint.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, when you sprint, you have extra, what is it? Regen and armor, I think? Let me check.
Yes. Well, I think you had part of that before.
Passively grants 2, 4, 6, 8 health per second and 1, 2, 3, 4 armor while in water.
Yeah.
And sprinting also makes water. Right?
Slithering Crush creates water. It used to be only part of the ags. So now he has like a portion of his ags, which was really good. You wouldn't really see it that often. Instituted as part of his kit. So this hero, I actually am a little surprised we haven't seen a little more often. Obviously, it's dependent on getting the water puddles, but if you can create them yourselves, I don't see what the issue is. So, I have some cool changes to Sladar, as we love to call him, of course.
All my eyes in this game, though. I mean, all my eyes. I have 2, okay? Don't start any theories, guys. My eyes are on the mid lane because if Alone can do to Gunnar what Quinn did earlier on that Lina
task though against Gunnar.
It is, and I don't know if Alone is as formidable. Probably not. Quinn is an exceptional laner. But if he can build somewhat of an advantage similar to what Quinn did, that can really set the tone for this game for Wildcard. I think Slardar's lane is also pretty good here. You're playing against Void plus DP. Should be good matchups for the Slardar to play into.
I hate to interrupt, but it's prediction time, okay?
I know.
Player with highest total magic or pure damage done to heroes by 25 minutes. I'm going to say Alone on the Lina.
Yeah.
I think that's actually pretty safe. The first tower kill. Death Prophet team, I guess? The Nouns. Total number of smoke gank kills at game end. I hate these ones.
5 to 8.
Yeah, I'll go 5 to 8. Player with most D wards by 15 minutes. I'm going to say Sammy Boy.
Yeah, let's...
He dies to get D wards all the time.
We can change the smoke prediction if there's a first blood here.
30 seconds to battle.
Yes, keep that in mind, of course, as we're going to run right in. Goes to Beeler. We'll have the time walk away, but Husky does not have that privilege. He is stuck in the corner, and he will be first blooded, and it goes to Alone. That is the last hero you wanted to go to. A little leg up for him in that mid lane.
All right, I'm switching to 9 to 12. All right, I'm not. I take it back. 5
yeah, I'm sticking 5 to 8.
Okay, so I'm confused as to why Husky stayed in there. He was just hoping they weren't going to find him. He had the ward advantage. He saw them. Well, I guess when the smoke broke, he didn't have any options. So kind of just awkwardly gets cornered there. Yeah, I guess there was nothing to do. Just dead. And the first blood, as you said, went to Alone. My God, the dream for Wildcard. He's going to start with Bottle.
They do pressure Eve a little bit, so he's going to be slightly late to the lane, and he's at half HP. We'll see how much that actually matters. But yeah, Alone with the bottle already coming to him, so we'll see how much of a difference this makes.
He got the first blood with Dragon Slave skill, which is important, because in this lane, the way Lina dominates the Ember is by spamming slaves on him. That's what we saw Quinn doing earlier. doesn't have that point in stun that isn't particularly useful early on.
Big denies mid too. That was nice.
Gets 2 on that first wave.
Nope, he's not going to get the range creep, but
Prioritizing correctly, they're tipping each other over missed CS. That's when you know it's serious. Missed another one. He's going to tip him again if he could.
Good to see.
You can tip away, Gunner. If this is going to continue, you're going to be in trouble sometime soon because that first blood is going to offset like 5 CS. So Lena's now already 10 for 2 technically against 4-0 in this mid lane.
Good start for Wildcard. As we're going to see a dispose in the top lane. Husky, maybe his second death. He's going to get the Spirit Siphon up, but obviously only level 1. So there's the crush. You can see the puddle. Even pops the Fairy Fire. He's dead no matter what. Divine Llama gets credit for that. Well, Husky, 2 early deaths.
Sabila is getting free farm though as a trade-off. He gets 2 denies and 2 or 3 CS while they were out hunting, so somewhat even actually of a trade. Losing your 5 to win a creep wave is not that bad. Sometimes players are a bit too focused.
Don't you think that's a little sad though?
Yeah, it's a delicate balance though, because imagine if kills were that impactful. Like how hard it would be to play farming.
Well, sure, but you're comparing a hero life to 2 creeps. That's pathetic.
It's 2 creeps and 2 denies.
Still, you got 2 enemy creeps and 2 ally creeps. That's pathetic. That's a hero.
Yep.
Just think about that. As Costabile is using the Arcana Void set. We get to see some of the cool animations. The time lock animation is sick. Really sick. Of course, the Chronos speaks for itself.
I think the way he has his arm out the whole time looks a little bit strange, doesn't it? Constantly has this left hand out. Is that a bug? It's like he's trying to grab onto stuff because he's blind. It's like, where am I? You know? Like.
Oh, he doesn't have a face, so
this is me when I go to bed in the dark and I'm looking for the door. You know, I just hold my left hand out until I feel the door handle. He's literally doing that non-stop. Nice bash animation.
Works out really well though, because he's 15 and 4 already for CS. So
maybe he's feeling the creeps. There you are. And then
that would be a good skill to have.
That's good lore.
Bottom lane, more harassment coming in. But Eve, 16 and 1, so really basically a wash if you want to compare just the position ones this early on. Looks like Eve will be going for the Battle Fury build. For Void, are we expecting Mask of Madness, Maelstrom into Shard, BKB? That seems to be the semi-standard, but there's some
Husky,
variation.
Big damage.
Yep, time dilation is there, but the crush is going to keep him in place. Another bash comes in, no, not going to get the second right click to go as Ember Spirit ends up dying. So Gunner, as you kind of expected, alone, winning this lane.
That is such a big kill. He actually kills him at a time that he might be able to get both waters as well. Because the water rune is spawning as Ember comes out, so if he doesn't make that his ~1 priority to go to the right side right now when he TP's in, Alone could just bag them both. Alright, it's going to get taken by Zeke, so good rotation there from the support to mitigate that little bit, but yeah, Gunner's getting absolutely crushed in mid. And it's good enough as it is. Lena getting first blood, just you do as a just can't win the lane. No
Definitely feels bad.
And now top lane's going to get a lot nastier as well. So keep in mind, until now they have not had rebound. They skilled dispose and sidekick, which is amazing for Slardar obviously to have. Now they also have that jump to connect on Husky, but in turn he finds level 3, and with 2 points in Spirit Siphon he fights back a lot better. So actually maybe this lane is just going to turn into a farm fest where neither team can really aggress.
It'll be interesting because with this bash, I mean, it does a lot of damage to creeps now, so you basically cannot out CS the Slardar when that is procced. But you can obviously set that up and do the old rebound, dispose into bash, into crush, which would do a lot of damage, but I don't think that's going to be enough to just outright kill Costabile because of the time walk. But Husky on the other side could die again. We're going to wait things out.
Just don't underestimate
Starbreaker bottom. Alright, you were giving us math lessons. Sorry about that, Synderen.
Yeah, I'm just saying Spirit Siphon level 2 is 4 times as good as Spirit Siphon level 1.
LSA in the mid lane. Alex is here. Rebound connects into the dispose. Couple more right clicks will do it, and Alone gets another kill on the Gunner mid. I think they've ran out of tips at this point, but in the bottom lane, Eve gets taken out. That is the position 1 Troll Warlord, so just as impactful of a kill. I guess the only difference is Lina is getting essentially, I guess that wasn't solo XP, but the fact that it's the second kill is a very big deal. Looking for this rune now. The LSA is there, and he gets the arcane rune.
Is under attack.
Off the fairy fire.
Husky isn't safe now either, actually.
Yeah, because this arcane rune giving him some space. Alex, never mind.
Well,
Gunner's there.
that's not the way to do
Jump
it.
on that a bit,
Oh, he's-
but the Laguna Blade doesn't care. Gets that freebie for himself. There's only a 40-second cooldown now for Laguna because of the arcane rune popped.
Why would the solo
What?
supposed to delay?
What? How?
All right. I mean, Wildcard are
level's Time
definitely
Walk?
stepping it up. They're winning all 3 lanes right now. That is very, very good news for Wildcard fans here. That
Wait, are they? Troll died bottom.
yeah, he's
Like,
still
still
ahead on
farming
net worth though.
Yeah.
Like,
Huh.
so despite that death, because Eve just has a massive CS advantage. He's ahead by 10 CS against the Dawn. That will offset that kill that they got. I also think Dawn might not have got the kill bounty, right? Did that go to him? Oh, it did actually go to him. Still not enough to cover that.
Alright, well now Costa Bile has 3 levels of time walk, so it's a 12-second cooldown. Gonna be much more difficult to kill him off.
Slaughter has
Oh, bottom lane, whirling axes. Hammer's gonna give him a little bit of space, and Sammy Boy gonna get pressured a bit by Z Freak with that level 2 of Starstorm. Again, I'm not sure why they're not picking heroes that combo well with Mirana in the laning stage, because I feel like that could really offset some of this laning stage advantage for Wildcard, but without a setup for that arrow, it feels like Z-Freak is having a tough time getting in this game again.
Oh.
20 seconds for the next power rune.
Don would love to get his hands on this. They're going to rotate over Sam on the Naga to try to cover this rune. He's going to be fighting Z-Freak. That's disjoint there on the first part of the Starstorm. Double coverage on top rune though for Nouns. So if this spawns top, it's theirs. Gunner with the
50-50.
Rage, and he gets.
Just for
Invisibility.
alone.
Ooh, they don't know this is an invis either.
Oh, LSA is available. Not gonna hit. That would have been a kill too.
Narrowly
That is
dodging
unfortunate.
that by walking forward.
Yeah, that was certainly a kill.
They're gonna go all bot.
Yep, bottom lane. Eve is gonna get the whirling axes as well, but it is a 3v1. So again, getting caught off here in the bot lane. That's the second death for the troll. And I mean, despite these 2 deaths, still even with the void, which is kind of crazy.
Has been killed.
Costa Bile did take part in that fight in the bot lane.
Dire's top tower is
See
under
if they can
attack.
try to go for this tier 1 tower as well. Looks like he's going for the Midas this game on the void.
It's a bit
Is that a little too
dangerous,
slow
maybe.
paced?
Yeah, I'm a little
Radiant
bit uncertain about
structures
whether
are
that's going to work
fortified.
out for them, because you could go for a greedy build like
Radiant's
that if
middle
Ember is
tower
having a
is
good
under
time,
attack.
but he is not. Like, Gunner is being crushed in this lane covered, so if Void goes Midas and needs time to build up, wondering if they're going to be a little bit too late. He,
Top lane, Eve. Is this going to be death number 3? Does not have his ult. Crypt Swarm is enough, and now they're going to get the arrow set up with the Searing Chains. Oh, I actually missed that was even in the game. They do have the setups in it. You should have corrected me.
yeah, Slight Chains is a setup for Arrow.
And that's the combo that we were hoping for in the previous series. And I
Yep, true.
have an aneurysm in my old age.
This is a huge mistake from Eve that happens here. This game was already rough enough. With this third death, he's effectively... He's now below the Void by 200, which might not sound like much, but considering that they counterpicked the Void with Slardar in lane, and Divine Llama did a good job overall, the fact that these 2 both now died together in the winning lane that they had is massive amounts.
Husky ends up snagging that arcane rune.
Nuh-uh.
See, they punish Alex trying to get the deny on that. So, Nouns able to withstand the early pressure that Wildcard was applying to them. And have come back pretty nicely. Obviously, the one exception is Gunner, still middle of the pack in terms of CS, or in terms of network, but Alone leading the way with now the boots of travel to work with. Kostabile still chilling in the bot lane.
Radiant
Seems to be
are
doing
scanning.
quite well. Has recovered. And he's going to use the first Chronosphere of the game. Into the Starstorm, not even needing the arrow. Z-Freak gets credit for that one. Kostabile, he'll have that Midas very shortly. Another couple hundred gold. Top lane. A focus move potentially. Bash is ready. Alex looking for the rebound setup. He's gonna get it, but the Moonlight Shadow, oh, they will spot him if they can go up top. The Starbreaker's gonna show exactly where he is. Bash was primed. Down goes Moo. Divide Llama with that one, and now the tier 1 tower as well.
Dire's structures are
Now the really
fortified.
big play here from Wildcard is if they can also defend bot. They know there's no Chrono, so they're going to send Sam down here with the Naga and the illusions and just try to push them out.
Yep,
Dire's
he's being
top
annoying
tower
as he has been this whole series on the same hero. Arrow not gonna hit.
is under attack.
Sammy Boy with no ultimate level, but he's gonna be fine. And now TP comes in from Alone, focusing on Z-Freak, but not able to get the full combo
Dire's
off.
top tower
Wasn't gonna
is
be enough
under
damage to
attack.
quite take him out. Laguna Blade and the leap keeps Z-Freak alive, but Dragon Slave will require another leap from Z-Freak. Now mid lane, we see Dawnbreaker ult. Eve is gonna die again. Nope, gets off the ult, but it's still a 1v3. Getting caught off guard again. Just terrible death after terrible death for him, but Alone will he be able to get any sort of trade? Move, couple more right clicks will do it. But still, favorable for Nouns, and now they're gonna get the tier 1 as well.
Middle tower is falling.
Nice TP from Husky to get out of bottom, realizing he couldn't get that tower and goes and pushes pressure mid instead. Now he will get caught off in the end, but still very good for him to get that mid objective as part of that move.
Dire's
Man.
bottom tower
Yeah,
is under
you're
attack.
seeing the potential of Sidekick together with Troll here, by the way. Look how low he was after that ult, and then he just kept sustaining with Sidekick level 3. It's now level 4. Gets a little more items, and that situation occurs again. He might just stay alive next time.
Man, this game is, like, net worth-wise, very even, but imagine if Troll was having just an average game.
Yeah.
And it hadn't died 4 times. Like, Alone is absolutely carrying this game for Wildcard, but it's not enough to really separate them from the pack quite yet because of the Troll. Still on his way to Battle Fury, has the Perseverance and 800 into Broadsword.
And what's so crucial about these last few minutes is that it might make up for Void going Midas. I actually think with what happened, that will definitely turn out to be the right choice. It's not a prediction. Like, you just go on feel, right? You don't know exactly what's going on at that point in time, but it will be good, I think, now for Kostabile with Trolls going down as much as he did. Because now this Midas will allow him to stay ahead, or at least on par. That is
They're gonna
against a
smoke.
hero that farms fast.
Kostabile really wants to Midas a creep. You can tell he's just itching for it. They have the Chrono and they want to use it. All right, there's the Alpha Wolf chain ring.
Nothing to Chrono down here, though.
There are creeps and a tower, though.
To Chrono the tower.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Looks like that's going to
Radiant's
be
bottom
given up
tower
here.
is under attack.
Kostabile
Radiant
now showing
structures
the
are
Midas.
fortified.
Gunner. The double damage should be able to finish this off by himself. Oh, look at this play from Wildcard into the Roche pit. Oh man, with the amplified damage coming out from Slardar, even a Laguna Blade. They want this fast, and they are going to get it. This was really cool from Wildcard. You can see the TP's in. TP's coming in, I should say. The bash coming out repeatedly from Roche is going to delay it a little bit, but Alone gets the Aegis, and everybody from Wildcard gets the hell out. Really cool play.
Yeah, Mars sees Slardar, ladies and gentlemen. You just kill Roche and Troll. It is quick.
Hey, don't
Give
forget about the
Aegis to
Laguna
Luna.
Blade, Cinder, and that was really important.
That's true. Not forgetting
must have
about that
been,
anytime soon.
Was that an arcane rune?
I don't think
Maybe
he had
not,
Arcane.
actually. Yeah, it's just a low cooldown. 70 seconds. We're gonna see a smoke now from Wildcard. See the top lane. Oh no, Eve has to pop the ult again. Nobody's even near him, so he's certainly gonna die. It's gonna go to the credit of Husky, but meanwhile we're gonna have a team fight potentially here. Deeply gets taken out, Solar Guardian coming in. Alex is gonna get stunned, but there's the
Well, if they
song
line this up
counteracting it.
nicely,
Divide Llama looking for the double crush, potentially, no. LSA is not gonna miss, not gonna hit because Gunner gets a sleight of fist off. That's 3 dead for Wildcard despite having the Aegis advantage. Searing Chains on the one, Starbreaker is gonna fully connect now. Divide Llama, you can see they're actually ignoring him because Alone is the bigger kill. Aegis down and now completely surrounded. He is 6-0, so the bounty is going to be huge for him, and it goes to Moo. What a fight from Nouns, and just disastrous for Wildcard.
Yeah, and again, it just starts out with the troll getting caught, right? Like you have to either give him better vision up here so he has more info to go on, or you have to protect him with the Naga or something like this. Troll being in no man's land, getting killed for the 5th time this game now.
Yeah.
And then they fight after, right? That's the other thing. Then they follow through, they get Dawnbreaker ultied, and then all goes to absolute shit. All run out here on Husky, so not even getting that kill on their way out, and Lina losing Aegis and the second life as well. This is one of those situations where you look back on it and you're like, we should have just cut the troll, but you can understand that at some point you feel like, okay, we can't keep letting him die for nothing, right? So the question is, it's not really about who's at fault, it's about how do you solve it. Because if he needs to farm up there, you need to communicate to get the vision or the protection from the support, and if he's not supposed to farm there, it needs to be called so he isn't going there. But either way, needs to step it up here.
He does finally have Battle Fury. So
it could have been 12 minutes. Imagine.
Yeah. It was on pace to be a ridiculous time. And even like 16 and a half, it's a little bit late. It's not like minutes late. It's maybe like a full minute past the average, I want to say. Something around
that.
that.
A little bit more, considering that Troll doesn't buy any value item, right? He just has Phase Boots 1. He doesn't have Wraith Band, Orb of Corrosion, anything like this. So I do think the good time here is 12 minutes, and the average time is like 13 and a half to 14. So definitely, you know, a bit late for sure. It's not like absolutely tragic here, right? It's just, it's definitely slow.
Why does Troll not get any build-up items?
I don't know, I think some of it is personal preference, and I think also about the lane matchup you have, right? If you can do fine in the lane without buying Wraith Band, I think overall this probably favors your speed
Rune of regeneration
total to bypass it. It's always going to be a matter of when you buy these small value items like Wraith Band, it's about, okay, does that net you another 3 last hits in lane or not, or give you kills, or, you know, it's always going to be difficult to say for sure, so...
Sammy Boy showing himself. They don't really want to
be ensnared in
spend too much to try to find him. He's going to pop the mirror image. We'll get away. Ult. Goes to Belay. Yep, Midas ready. There you go. And he actually found a Pupil's Gift, which is pretty god tier on Void. Extra HP and mana now. 15 stats to those.
Best strength control item on Void.
Or tier 2.
I'm debating if it's Ring of Aquila or Brigand's Blade or the Apple. It's one of the 3.
Probably dependent on the game. I would say Apple in this game because you're going to get the burst damage of Lina.
The health is very good for sure.
a sudden burn.
Osabile has a Sage coming very shortly, just the recipe away. Obviously he's had the Maelstrom now for a little bit. So able to farm extremely fast now, and you can see all these camps are blocked.
Interesting choice to go for the Sanj before the Yasha, right? Like, it's kind of telling of his read on the game that he's worried about dying in a burst. So he wants that stat resistance and health to try to stay alive and get his spells off over the extra farming speed of the Yasha.
Moonlight Shadow right now. Void has to participate in this fight because the Ancients were blocked right there. Shearing Chains on pit 2. Divide Llama and Company looks like they went back. Hammer gonna connect with the Starbreaker on the Sammy Boy. LSA not gonna create too much space. Do a nice job of dodging that, does Nouns.
That's fine for Sammy though. Like, dying for the team there. This is the kind of thing that you would have wanted when the Troll farmed up here the last 2 times, right? Like, this is Naga's job in this game, is to just be a wall that eats ganks for the Troll and places ops and sentries in the areas that he wants to farm, so that they can progress the game.
And look at how many sentries are on the map right now.
Yep.
That is ridiculous, actually.
Both teams are really valuing the Fire Ancient, huh?
Yeah. And I don't think that one's getting dewarded anytime soon, the one that's blocking the Ancients, though.
It's
a bit of an annoyance. Supposed to be like still finding ways to farm. Ooh, he's actually going to be opting for the Halberd, so obviously extremely good against Troll Warlord.
That's why he went the Sanj. How about that being the right choice here?
Very defensive.
So you have a little
Against
bit of a
Lardar
luxury
too.
as carry void when one of your supports is DP, because I think that is one of the highest damage output supports you can play with. So maybe you can go slightly more defense build. All right, Chrono here. Arrow should be coming in.
Yeah, but there are creeps there. Divine Llama, he's very healthy, but now you got the catch of Gunner, Hammer to come as well. Down goes Divine Llama. Duels.
So long.
Sammy Boy looking for the song. Will not die to the Star Storm. The delay. Ooh, arrow has to be sidestepped, but I think Sammy Boy might just be dead anyway. One more slight. Oh, no steering chains though.
Radiant's top tower.
But they find him in the end.
Radiant
I mean, Halberd seems pretty good against 3 right-click cores, right? Troll, Lina, and Slardar. And
It is definitely a good item. It's just about whether it's Void's responsibility to buy it. Because Dawn
Radiant's
already has
top
one, right?
tower
I don't know
is
if you
fallen.
need 2 this
Dire's
game.
bottom tower
You could also
is
Are you
even buy
looking-
one DP.
you're looking at it just from the offensive aspect, not the evasion that you get.
Throne of illusion.
Yeah, I mean, the defense is nice, of course, but it is a slower farming item, right? So if you buy this item, you're slowing down your item progression, and
Radiant's top tower is under
again,
attack.
I don't know if he really needs this. If they, I mean, they have 2 halberds, so they should be fighting now, right? Like, if you're buying these value items for this timing, then use them.
Never refuse gold given.
And usually my concern when the safe lane carry goes halberd is, oh, are they scaling? Do they have enough damage?
Dire's
But
bottom
again, the
tower
support
is under
duo
attack.
on Nouns has very high damage output. It's Nirana and DP, so it might just work just fine. What a recovery from Gunner. I mean, he's still behind the Lina, right? But he actually has a game after that start.
Well,
now
you could say the
4-2 at
same
6.
for Eve. He's died more times than Gunner, and he's right there with him as well.
Well, he's a Battle Fury troll, though, so he better.
True, but even against the Void, what is he? He's like a 1500 down.
He's 1500 down against the Void that also died solo in lane to Slaughter.
One time though.
One
You're
time.
talking about 5 deaths. Of course, the Halberd will slow down the farm a bit. You're definitely right about that. Might be focusing on getting this shard first before they actually try to fight. And that should buy enough time. Yeah, I think the BKB is coming out for Eve now, which is much needed.
Yep.
That'll help him survive, no
This
doubt
next
about it.
rush is very soon. Keep that in mind. We're only
Yeah.
22 minutes in, but he can
Dire's top
respawn
tower is
now.
under attack.
Devi's BKB is really close as well. So I think
Yeah.
these two aligning is going to be pretty nice, along with Alone having the BKB, which hasn't been used yet. So they're going to have 3 fresh ones.
If they use these well, it's going to negate a lot of the halberd effectiveness, right? So it's all about getting that jump, popping the BKB, and getting the kills off before disarms start mattering. And the Radiant lineup can burst Void Fire to 0 to catch him. I know he's going to.
Alone's dead. Oh man, he's actually all alone.
Living up to his name there.
Dire's
Indeed.
top tower
Arrow
is
setup,
under
Solar
attack.
Guardian. Easy pickoff. Just not in the right spot there. 45 seconds.
That is...
And Roche. Ooh, that's actually aligned with Roche perfectly.
Yeah, fortunate for them that Roche isn't up. If Roche was up now, maybe the Dire... I mean, look, Moo is already checking for it. Not up, though. WILDCARD don't know this, so they're gonna go and check it quickly. Now they know. They actually still don't know. They didn't go
Yeah,
in.
they didn't go in. They're scared now, and there's a good reason for that. Divine Llama still has his BKB, gonna avoid the Starbreaker and avoid using the BKB. Might have to use it here though, as Eve is gonna come in with the whirling axes. 15 seconds on Melina to come back in this game. All right, you can see the troll ult. Was that not the
Hoping
troll
for a root there on Gunner. Didn't get it. I think miscommunication as well. Father was in position to crush there, but didn't go for it. So that's a pretty... I mean, it's not the longest cooldown in the world for Troll. He just needs to kite and buy a time now for this Roche so they have it again.
Eve has such a naked inventory. It's so weird to look at.
Yeah.
Maybe going for Blink next, it looks like, but still far away from that. But now, knowing that the BKB is down from Ember, this is a big opening for WILDCARD. Song, creating
they're
some
stacked
time.
up.
Yep, and Divine Llama looking for that Blink crush. He can actually attack through that, and he's going to focus now all his efforts on the Void. Dead is Coach the Belay. They find the Strand of the Naga sign, but it's just a support hero. Husky's dead in turn, though. Buyback immediately by Sammy Boy. You can see the Halberd used onto Eve, but he's going to brush it off, and now they can go into Roche. That forces
big
buyback, which
Husky
won't come
support
from
as
Void.
well. No Exo. This Roche is theirs. I don't see any world that the Dire even walk over there anymore. I guess the silver lining that 2 support buybacks are useful, because I don't know if WILDCARD actually did need to do that to ensure this, but alright, thanks for the free freak. The arrow will just add
Immortality.
What's the
Aegis.
shard? Slardar. So that's
Yep.
Slithering Crush applies haze for 5 seconds. That is super strong. Gives you another 75 radius on the Crush as well. Nice with the Naga Song to reach heroes more reliably.
It is very good. Gunner, ooh, nice dodge. Gets the remnants off as well. Pops the BKB. Beautiful play from Gunner. They took a beautiful air onto Alone. That's the Aegis down right off the bat. The Vi Llama is dead, and now Alone completely surrounded. Pops his BKB, gets off a nice LSA, but he's gonna have to be careful here. Rebound not gonna be there from Alex because he does not have the shard. So Alex is dead inside his BKB. Ungodly play from Gunner. Holy shit, that was nice. Now Sammy Boy looks to be next on the list. Hammer is there. He will fall 3 dead, including the Aegis. Nouns just outplayed the crap out of Wildcard.
Anticipating that Slardar Crush, dodging that with Slight, and then he immediately
Radiant's
fire
middle
remnants
tower
the
is
Lina
under
stun. So
attack.
both stuns whiff, and Slardar does not have BKB ready. Big payoff from a
God,
big
that
individual
was
play there from
sick.
Gunner. And it's so important, right? Because imagine the Slardar stun lands, he just dies on the spot with that shard. There's no way Gunner survives.
Did he see Did he actually react to the Slardar Crush, or was that just
Radiant's
happenstance?
bottom tower is under
Either
attack.
he saw him for a brief moment through the trees, or it was just random that he hit the Slight while the Crush comes out, but then the Remnant after definitely premeditated against the Lina stun follow-up, right?
Radiant's bottom
So-
tower has fallen.
Whether that was all
Dire's
skill
top
or
tower is
half
under
luck
attack.
is very big. That was the Aegis play for Wildcard. Such
Yeah,
a
if
big
that-
opportunity down the drain.
If that Crush hits, he's dead.
Yep,
Just
and they lose
plain
the
and
mid-tower.
simply, he's dead. Man,
Instead
what a
of an 8k
turnaround.
Dire lead, this would have been an even game, almost. That one moment.
That is certainly the play of the game. That's the play of the entire qualifier so far, I have to say. Just can't get over how disgusting that was.
The rune of invisibility.
All right, well, with that, now pretty much nullify the Aegis and the Roche
All
Yeah.
I can
wildcard
give
side, and
us
they're sporting an
is a
8k lead,
choice.
so Moonlight Shadow now. We'll see if they're able to find another fight in their favor, as an Elven Tunic is now picked up by Costa Bile. That's one of the better tier 4 or tier 3s for him. And Sliver as well. What do you actually prioritize? Status resist?
I mean, for
Probably
now,
keep the
you'd
Elven.
probably keep the Tunic, right? You don't have that much damage.
Regeneration.
Sliver.
Putting in his backpack though, so maybe using this to
The magic
farm.
resist is nice. I mean, it's close. Alright, he's gonna take the Sliver. Because the evasion is also good, right? So, but since that doesn't stack additively with Halberd,
Dire's
maybe
bottom
this is
tower
the better
is under
choice.
attack.
He already has an evasion item. Yeah, I think this is the right. I have to say though, I haven't felt that much of an impact from the Halberd. Maybe I haven't looked for it correctly, but I don't think they have played an
Radiant are
integral
scanning.
role in where they're at right now. It means they could have bought other items and maybe had an even easier time. But we could get a big payout from them later.
Goes to Bile. A recipe away from BKB, which means he can ignore Song of the Siren, which Sammy Boy hasn't really been able to get off too often because he's been kind of the focus in a lot of these beginning portions of the fights here. But Eve is the big story. Obviously, got off to a very rough start in this game, and he's going to have to find his way
Dire's
towards the top of that net worth for him to have some impact on this game overall. And I don't know if SNY is going to be enough. It's like a nice, I mean, it's a great item for Boy or for Troll, but I feel like a Scotty or something, a big ticket item, needs to be what picked up in this game. He needs a lot though.
Yeah.
Basher, he needs Blink.
Yeah, he does. I do agree. I think Scotty is very strong here, but at the same time, maybe the Basher is actually better because it's just gonna come down to whether you catch someone and kill them 100-0 more so than the
and move quickly.
sustained minus healing and the sustained slow, right? Like you are gonna run into trouble if these halberds start beating you, so you might need to get as much bang for your buck as you can during your BKB, and then when that runs out, you're kind of just halberded for the rest of the fight. So maybe even a damage item. Maybe not even Basher. You get, theoretically, you get Daedalus or like that. I mean, it feels kind of weird to say it, so maybe it's just something feels off about it, but Maybe Basher's like the best of both worlds. It's some damage, and it is that control that they need.
Well, he's still opting to finish the SNY, so he's going to get the status resist and overall solid stats for the troll.
Yeah, it's worth keeping in mind he does have sidekick, right? So there's more damage on him than we think.
And corrosive haze.
Yeah, so maybe he doesn't need that much damage actually. Maybe they have enough, and that to me that even convinces me even more that Basher's
Loaded to the gills.
maybe
Now
more
we're going to
stagger.
see...
Could also be interesting.
Dire
The starter
are scattered.
piling onto someone immediately and throwing them off.
Rule of haste.
Divide, he's gonna get gone on by Gunner. Smoke is popped. They don't see him in the tree line, but they're gonna try to go for Alone instead. But the LSA does connect on the Gunner, but he actually rebounds Alone with the BKB, but will that be enough? Gunner actually is gonna live, and it possibly is because of that move. Gunner ribbons out, but he will fall in the end. 70 seconds of no Ember Spirit, but it'll be a trade for Divide Llama at the very least. But a triple Chronosphere from Costa Bile. Arrow comes in to take out Sammy Boy as well. The troll finally gets off the goal. Now the bash is coming through on the Costa Bile. He is dead. Make it. It's a double kill for Eve. The buyback is required from the Slardar. That big fight from Wildcard to get all the cores outside of Moo, who is down in the bottom lane.
What an insane chrono, but no follow-up because Gunner went full-on Rambo to start that fight. That was actually just full-on insane. And that's what Ember is like sometimes, right? You have this player who makes that wild play earlier and you're giving him all the props in the world, and then he does that, where he just stays in too long, overstays his welcome, gets hazed, and just gets right-clicked down to death by Lina with the MKB Crystallis. She hits really hard. You gotta respect that and get the hell out of there. You already accomplished quite a lot when you went in to begin with. Cut your losses, get out, and then play it on the high grounds.
Yeah, if Gunner had lived through that though, and I'm sure Alex
they would have killed everyone in the chrono, but then the chrono doesn't happen, right? Like it's always what if.
Well, no, it's more. So. You saw what happened at the beginning of the fight, right? Alex rebounded Lina as she BKB'd, so couldn't find the distance to get some extra right clicks off, which I think Gunner just dies right then and there. But it didn't matter in the end. But still interesting. I didn't know you could rebound through BKB on your ally. I guess it makes sense.
Yep. I guess if you have the shard, you can also throw in a BKB ally, which can be really powerful in certain heroes.
Yeah, that's true.
Never refuse gold given.
9k lead for Nouns, but now we see a smoke. Wildcard wants to fight.
No Exo, no Chrono. Good time.
Nouns maybe positioning if they're ready here, but Divide Llama missing the crush. Arrow gonna connect on Eve, and Nouns are able to get away safely.
Good reaction from Z-Freak there on the lead. Gets caught by the crush. It's pretty dangerous to play against a lineup like this. You know if you get caught by Slardar Sun, you just die on the spot. So you gotta be on your toes with all of your mobile heroes to try to get out in time if possible. Fortunately for them, they have plenty of those, right? They have Void, Mirana, as well as Ember that have a way, if they anticipate something, of potentially getting out. Chrono's online again, so
Lone
could be a thing here.
Lone has MKB, by the way, so going to counteract a lot of the evasion coming out from the double halberd.
Yep.
Or still needs to get the BKB off before the halberd is used. Now we have a smoke on the other side from Nouns. Roche up in 40 seconds, so they're able to get a couple pickoffs that could lead to a free Roche for each respective team.
Yep. And that would be what Wildcard needs to recover the game, right? They've got both Roches, but they're 8k down. How often can you say that? Minute 30. It's true. Kind of weird, but too many unforced error is really...
Shadow. See the shard now online for Costa Bile. So just using that to scout out Roche with the reverse time walk. Be safe. And Roche is up in 8 seconds. And keep in mind, Wildcard, even though the positioning of Nouns is pretty good right now, they take Roche within 10 seconds. So Nouns have to be very careful. Oh, actually messed up there from Costa Bile. Didn't find the distance into the Roche pit.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Alex and company. Yep, Gunner's going to be spotted. He's going to get the searing chains off. Silence the follow to Alex. There's the crutch initiation. Trying to go for Costa Bile. He dies inside his BKB. And Gunner's next. Double kill for Alone. And a huge team fight for Wildcard. The song sets up another potential kill onto Z-Freak. LSA does connect despite getting the leap off. 2 buybacks are available for Nouns, but one of them is not the Faceless Void, which means third Roach goes the way of Wildcard. And unfortunately for them, it is a Refresher Shard, which, not that that's bad, but Aghanim Scepter would have been huge to cut this lead.
This change on Troll is doing so much for Wildcard in this series. He nets Gunner and kills him 100-0 through BKB. It makes such a big difference that Troll's able to do this now. And that kill on Void was very close, by the way. He BKB'd and he was mid-time walk animation as he died. If he gets that time walk off, they lose the game in the Roach probably. It's like a knife's edge, these situations, because with a successful time walk, you can probably find a 2-man chrono, considering how much Wildcard are piling on top of each other to kill him there. He gets that, the Exo, he kill at least one with a Moran arrow, maybe 2, get the Roach and build themselves a massive lead. Now instead they're losing Rax almost.
Yeah, big Starbreaker comes in. They want to preserve this Aegis, I'm sure, so look for Wildcard to potentially reset here. Aegis obviously plenty of time to work with, but not a whole lot of mana on alone. So just the tier 3 tower. Fortification gets reset for Nouns. And this game is 2k advantage for Wild. That was a 10k net worth swing, not including the Aegis and Cheese, which don't count towards your net worth. And yeah, how does the Refresher Shard come into play this game? Who's going to hold
that? Was with a shard, right? Imagine if there was an Axe, how big the gold swing would have been then.
Exactly. I'm sure that's what they were hoping for, but Refresher Shard's going to be on Naga, which support double sleep. I mean,
I think she should give it to the Troll.
Yeah, I think the double BKB is going to be
double BKB, double Troll ult.
But it does cost mana now. How much mana is it? It's 200.
200. I think he can support that. His spells are super cheap. It's actually kind of close. So 2 BKBs is 100 and 2 ults is 300. So yeah,
well, he does have Cheese as well, so that gives mana and HP.
Yeah, but
lots of hold both.
Which slot do you want to free up the
boots? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, Troll really needs the phase. Cannot drop boots until he has dagger. Wow, what a game! Really looked like Nouns had it all under control, and then that's what these burst lineups can do to you. You need to stay focused the whole time and not get jumped, and it is so hard. And I want to commend Wildcard on that. This is a very important game for them, but they're playing with no fear, really. They're just going for it when they feel there's a moment to be had. That's what you need. If you want to go deep in tournaments or you want to qualify for TI, you've got to be confident in your ability. Do what you've practiced. Worked out really well for them. They're now knocking down the second tier 3 here.
Yep, that's going to be just soloed by Alone. Fortification is forced now, so now that's on cooldown. No way to refresh it. And with this Aegis, going to get that range Rax. Our Nouns going to try to counteract this right now. There's the jump in from Gunner. Solar Guardian is coming. Arrow not going to connect because of the BKB from Alone, but it's coupled with the song, and Alone able to get out. No BKB from close to Bila to try to get a bash. That could have been the play. The second song force.
I do not like that from Sam.
Yeah, that's not great.
Now
BKB.
I like it even less.
Sammy Boy will die. Yeah, that's a big consumable kind of wasted, it feels like.
Survive. You should not use a refresher shot to save your own life on 5 targets. This item is way too important for that. I feel like that was a big blunder, and as well, they were a little bit uncoordinated in this push actually, because it looked like Alone wanted to fight. He landed the stun on Gunner, and they were able to follow up on that with a Slaughter Crush if he was ready, but then they saw him. And Alone's immediate reaction is, oh shit, let's get out. This is terrible. I used my BKB to kill this Ember. I'm not staying. And he made the right call to get out of there. So, miscommunication, and then they just, you know, get out with everyone that they can and only cut Sam, which is good. He just needs to not use Refresher, and that's totally fine.
Yeah, Moo, he's going to get initiated on, but it's off that BKB. Chronosphere onto 2. Who do you choose? Goes to Belay. He actually gets rebounded out of the Chronosphere. Forgot it actually goes through that. Troll dies, though, to start this fight. Alex looks to be next. Nope. Actually gets the right clicks off thanks to the Unleash. Now Divine Llama chasing Moo. Gets the bash. Going to have to get the bounty and run away, but he's going to get Yules in the meantime. Arrow trying to slow this down. Not going to hit, though. Costa Belay completely out of mana. Starbreaker trying to keep Moo alive. Blink to the TP. He's fine.
I really thought Divine was going to chase there when that arrow missed. I felt like that's when you smell blood in the water and go for that Dawn kill, but being a little bit cautious there. It's easy to say from our perspective with our vision, but yeah. Man, Gunnar is lucky to survive that. Really, the armor from Shiva's there playing a big role. If he doesn't have that, he's just toast. And yeah, I would say it's very weird that this pose works on Chrono. But it does. I guess there's, other spells that reposition you out of Chrono, right? Like Hook and Swap. So in a sense, it is consistent. But
it's just weird because she's using her hands.
Yeah, something about it just feels weird, right? But
alone. Yeah, they need to wait this out. 2 seconds. He gets bashed. There's the song. He's gonna get the refresh of his HP. And TP's out. Sammy Boy will likely pay the price, along with potentially Divine Llama. So Wildcard, after such a good fight initially at the Roach Pit, making some blunders here. Looks like Sammy Boy is definitely dead, and Divine Llama will follow suit. And Divine is dead for 100. Yeah.
Oh boy. I mean, I feel like that's kind of reckless to just go and push that with 5 seconds left on your Aegis. I know you have the backup of Naga, so fair enough, but then Naga needs to die for you, and nobody else needs to be in range to get caught there. The fact that Slardar lingers and gets killed is a very, very big mistake.
Yeah.
Let's see how much Nouns can capitalize off this. They will have Chrono in 20 seconds, so this is actually a 5v4 with Chrono. Huge advantage. Find alone, no BKB.
Yep, Solar Guardian alone. BKB to try to get the safety disposed, and this will keep him in place, but he has the move speed of Starbreaker connect, and he is dead. No buyback somehow. What is going on? Nouns now at the advantage. 4 dead for Wildcard. Fortifications pop. This is the second tier 2, so the fortification will not refresh yet. They can continue on. There's no reason to stop. You gotta force these buybacks. That's gonna be one on Marcy. There's one available now onto Divine Llama. Got that while he was dead. Again, I don't think you can fight without the Lina. This exorcism, I think the fact that they're getting this for free should show that there is no buyback onto the Lina.
Level 3
1,500 gold away.
At the next tower. This
Absolutely.
is 5 DP just taking the base,
Yep, there's the fortification. Now that they killed that first tier 3, refreshes it. It's only going to delay the inevitable. This is definitely 2 sets of racks. Won't be able to get the megas because there is a tier 2 in the top lane, but if there wasn't, they could have a chance to do that. Lena's still dead for 30 seconds. What another turn of events, this time favoring Nouns. What is
you can say what you can say what you will about this game, but it's definitely exciting. I mean, it's a lot of mistakes, and everybody is, there's definitely nerves going into this, but wow, it's going really quick, and you gotta stay focused. I feel like certain risks are being taken that are not worth it.
We get to see Reelin, Cinderin. Aghanim Scepter on Sammy Boy. Of course, the main reason you get is because you can ensnare BKB targets, but you can reel them in now. I need to see this.
You know
Please.
what? I'm gonna make a bold prediction, Chen. He will not use that part of the spell. He's literally gonna ensnare and run away. He might reel in. Why not?
Yeah. Well, you can do it while you song, right? That's the whole point.
Yeah, you can reel in for a couple seconds, but then you need to get the hell out of there so you don't. He's gonna run in first.
Yeah, he's gonna get silenced, so no reeling available for him right off the bat. He's gonna get Starbreaker, but already at half HP. Troll Warlord pops the cheese, Eve just in time. Still has the BKB and his ult. And Gunnar trying to create some space. The Troll Warlord has to use the ult, but there's the Chronosphere on top of him. But the rest of the members of WILDCARD are able to maneuver themselves around it. Divine Llama gets a good crush, but he's gonna fall here to the right place in all likelihood. Finally will go down and does have buyback. Will have to expend it immediately. Alone, gotta be careful. Offset Satanic, and there's the Dawnbreaker ult coming in. He's gonna avoid it. And the Satanic gets the full HP, but a crutch on the 3 heroes from Divine Llama. Trying to focus down close to Beal. They finally get the void, but he does have buyback this time. Passive reposition, does not have his ult to work with. Ember looking to get this kill into the Troll Warlord. It's gonna be close. He does find it. 115 seconds of no Troll Warlord. Divine Llama gets off the crush. Now the bash is on the Gunner. Gets off another remnant though. Trying to create some space. We'll be able to get the side effect under the Lina. This is gonna be a dieback for her. And that is the death of WILDCARD in the upper bracket. Nouns. They were up in this game, then they were losing in this game, and then they were winning again. A very roller coaster game as the GGs come out. Most entertaining game of the entire bracket. We got all our predictions wrong as usual, Cinderin.
With the GG well played, good luck further. talking like he's out of the tournament.
Yeah,
this was an
maybe they
upper
don't
bracket
know.
game, Sam. You're still in it, bro. You can come back from this.